What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the VR Link. My name is GT, and welcome to episode 41. This is your weekly Sunday VR podcast that gives you and us a chance to discuss some of the latest news, games, and goings on in virtuality. Allow me to introduce my co-hosts: Salsa from Salsa Ketchup VR.
Hello.
Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Hi, guys.
And Dane from Get to the Chopper VR.
Howdy, strangers.
Finally, for those on the move, you can also listen again to the VR Link as a podcast on Anchor and Spotify. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the amazing patrons and channel members whose names are listed below. And if you're looking for ways to support this channel, please check the links in the description. And while you're there, please consider joining the community Discord. In today's show, we'll be talking about this week's releases, what's happening next week, and I imagine a whole heap of Half-Life Alyx. What we would like to do is have a spoiler-free chat. And what we're going to do, we're going to basically talk about Half-Life Alyx. All Half-Life's going to be at the end, near the end as much as possible. Because Dane is going to leave then, and he's going to swap with Lincoln. Because Lincoln has played Half-Life Alyx, and Dane hasn't, unfortunately. So that's the idea. So when we swap hosts, we're going to have a section of Half-Life Alyx without spoilers. And then we're going to have a section of Half-Life Alyx with spoilers. And, you know, so we'll make it abundantly clear. There will be like a time for you to leave or close your ears and eyes. And, you know, because we don't want to ruin it for anyone, obviously. But we do want to hear your thoughts on it as well. So, and I know some people have, you know, been blown away by it.
Probably biting at the chomp.
It's been amazing. So, yeah. So how is everyone? You all right, guys? You all good?
Yeah.
Yeah? You all cool? Good stuff.
Yeah, fantastic.
Excellent. So let's start with, if anyone can let us know in the chat what they've been playing. And we'll start with Dane this week. See what you've been playing, dude.
Yeah, man. So I played a little bit of Down the Rabbit Hole, the Alice in Wonderland kind of themed puzzle game. I played that on the Quest. Obviously, that's coming out for PSVR soon. I think it's been delayed until end of April, maybe. But that's really, really good.
Sorry, do they still have another giveaway going on their Twitter?
I think there still might be another one live because they had a Quest giveaway as well as the game. And
yeah, I think they've done an extra one today with everything and a Quest again.
Jesus. So yeah, so check that out. Go to their Twitter page because if you haven't got a Quest, you want one. But yeah, the game is really good. We'll talk maybe a little bit more about that a bit later. Yeah, also I played Paper Beast on PSVR. That was pretty cool. It starts off a little bit slow, but then gets. I think like everyone says, it's not what we expect it's going to be. It's something quite unique and very cool. I played the Room VR, so I've actually played a fair bit of VR this week, and that is actually really, really good. Down the Oculus Quest, but obviously it's available on PSVR as well. And I went back to an old game that I've never played before, which was Immortal Legacy Jade Cypher.
Oh, yeah.
That looks great on PS4. On the base PS4 alone, that looks really, really good. And it plays pretty well as well, so that was good.
That's coming out as a standard version as well soon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're releasing just a normal version of it. So
sweet.
Interesting to see how that goes.
Who needs their haircut? Who needs their haircut at the moment? I need mine cut so bad.
Soon.
I'm getting a Buffon.
I have embraced the hobo life 100%.
Oh yeah.
Not me, I've embraced it.
I was saying Nat's gonna be fine through this crisis. He's just gonna get hairier and hairier, and
no one's gonna know the difference.
But yeah, I'm starting to panic now. I'm like, because what happened is I know it's gonna go from like the Elvis swish thing to like into curtains. I'm waking up and my curtains are coming back, which I don't. I'm like fighting them, but it's not gonna last.
Who knew the panic buying would be from toilet paper to haircuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shave all mine off.
So what have you been playing this week, Salsa?
Along with Half-Life Alyx, nothing because I haven't had the time, but I have been trying to keep a look on the real racing drivers versus sim drivers that's sort of like going on at the moment with all of the people locked in. So we've had the Formula One stuff that's been happening on iRacing, I think. No, it was R2. So that's been really interesting, like where they had not the Bahrain one and what was it last week? That was Bahrain last week, where Jimmy Broadbent got into a little bit of a fender bender with Noland, and he came off in 4th.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's good. Good for a YouTuber who says he's not very good, but still came 4th in a lineup against real world F1
Wow.
drivers.
Yeah,
So,
that's amazing.
So it was like Londo Norris and him had a bit of a Barney near the end of the not Bahrain,
Right.
which was a really good watching, actually. That was really, really nice.
Yeah, that sounds superb. Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Nat? What have you been playing this week?
Well, I do want to point out in the chat that somebody called Mrs. GTVR is voting that your wives should cut your hair. I agree with that. What was that face for, man?
No. Well, I actually said to her, like, how about you just like do the sides, trim the sides and that? And she went, no, I'll mess it up. Straight away. Like, she didn't even say I could do it. I can't. She just went, I'll mess it up. And I'm like, well, that's enough for me. That your first reaction is the truest reaction. That she'll go, zoom. Oh.
She's going for I'll shave the
She'll
beard
go
now.
for the beard.
Yeah, well, the beard might have to come off anyway soon. Anyway, I've trimmed it right down now, and I'll keep real good tabs on it because there's no point having it too long and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you just got. Yeah.
Anyway, as for what I've been playing, obviously the majority of my week has been taken up with Half-Life Alyx. That's the only VR game that I've played. Although I do have a copy of Paper Beast, I just haven't got around to playing it. And I've also been playing quite a bit of Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, wicked! Yeah, that's cool.
But also because Disney Plus finally launched in the UK this week, I've now watched the first 3 episodes of The Mandalorian.
And
it feels like Star Wars in the first hour of the first episode of The Mandalorian felt more like Star Wars than all 3 of the Disney films combined.
Mate, I was
brilliant.
I nearly had a paddy on the floor when it got to 3 because I've got it as well. And when it got to the 3rd episode, it was like, well, where's the next one?
Yeah.
But it's because of the 7-day free trial. They're not putting them all on there. I think. I don't know. I want to know when the rest.
No, they did the same in America.
Stages.
Yeah, they did the same in America.
Mate, I thought
So
it was
I've got to
absolutely
wait to
amazing.
sign up to the trial, so I'm gonna obviously do the wait thing until they're all out, and then sign up because I'm on so many online services.
Dude, it is amazing. I was like, this is incredible, and every episode got better. Each episode got better than the last.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing about it is, and I actually said this on my show yesterday when I was describing it. I goes, loads of people love Star Wars. Like I guarantee, like Jon Favreau, who's the creative behind The Mandalorian, loves Star Wars. J.J. Abrams loves Star Wars. Rian Johnson doesn't like Star Wars, so we'll leave him out of it. But the thing that's different is Jon Favreau understands why people love Star Wars. J.J. Abrams doesn't. He's just taken bits. Like, could you imagine if Jon Favreau was given access to Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han Solo? I mean, he's managed to make a brilliant Star Wars thing, and there's nothing about it. There's no characters that you recognize. There's no call outs. Even the little Yoda isn't a Yoda. It's, because it's set after the events of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Baby Yoda is not Yoda.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Jon Favreau understands what makes Star Wars Star Wars. J.J. Abrams, like I say, he loves Star Wars, but he doesn't understand what makes Star Wars, why we love Star Wars, what makes people go absolutely gaga and crazy for it. So, and that definitely kind of came, that's the thing that definitely came through on the watching those first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was.
But I think it's the best thing Star Wars related since Return of the Jedi, to be honest.
I really enjoyed Rogue One out of all the new stuff.
Yeah, Rogue One was a very good film.
I really enjoyed that. Before I get into what I've been playing this week, let's give a shout out to some people who have joined us today. Thank you ever so much, because what it means is you've clicked the bell and said it all, which means you found us.
Ding.
So thank you ever so much too. Zombie Gaming, and hello Zombie Gaming's mum. I don't know if she's still here. Ian Michael John Cock over on Facebook. Midlife, Mike Kelly, VTids. Yeah, man, I saw you about the spoilers. That's why I put that shout out to let you know that we're going to make it very clear when we're going to start talking about spoilers, and it will be at the end of the show. Rob Simmons, how you doing? Who else have we got? Have I missed? We've got Dark, Joe Meyer. He's asked, what is the best VR headset out that is supported by for Alyx? Do you know what? This is a discussion we can have. If you don't mind, we can have a discussion in a minute, because I wanted to talk about something that happened on Angry Joe's review of Half-Life Alyx. Interesting enough in a second. So remind me of that in a second if I forget. You're right, Artful. Who else we got? Have I missed anyone? Gaming Legends. Hello, dude. How you doing? You're right. Great Tantrum. Nice. Artful VTids. I think I said hello to everyone there. Surreal Deal. Anyone I've missed? Mrs. GT, obviously, before I get told off. Boy Brown. My con artist. Thank you all for being here, guys. Thank you ever so much. So what has everyone... Can anyone see what they've been playing this week? Has anyone got the chat up?
A lot of it's like obviously Half-Life Alyx, Paper Beasts has popped up quite a bit in there. We did ask have someone ask about has any of us played Lies Beneath. There is one of us that's played it, but I'm assuming he's under an NDA, so can't talk about it. Subliminal, Doom Eternal, I've seen pop up a few times.
Oh, nice.
So it looks like it's been a good range of games. Also, a few people say they've been playing some like older games, using this time to play catch up.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is actually one of the things I'm planning on doing next week. So.
Any of you guys signed up to Echo Arena's beta at all?
No,
Was it
I've
alpha?
got too much to play. It's an alpha, but I had too much to play, and I was just like, you know what? If I get the code, I'll maybe spend half an hour in it. I'd rather let somebody who can give it a bit of time, put their name in and get the code. So
I'd signed up to Hyperdash the other week.
Oh, you signed up for it? You should just be able to get access in the Discord.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
But you needed to get through the Discord, and there's a lot of people that don't always find the links.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, on that solid game.
Hyperdash
really
is
good.
absolutely fantastic. I mean, if they, considering where it is now, in alpha form, it's like mind blow. Like, I think that game's going to be absolutely fantastic in virtuality. As it grows. Boy Brown has signed up. He's got the first batch. He was in Echo Arena. Nice dude. Funny thing is, I've got Echo Arena on PC VR. I've just never checked it out.
I've checked it out a long time ago, but it was a case of there is quite a competitive thing on that side. And it's like one of those competitive esport type things where you go in, and if you happen to come in at a time when there are some serious people around, you sort of like go, okay, I don't quite belong here at the moment.
Yeah.
And you sort of like back away through the porthole quickly.
Just want to point out, Sonic, in the chat, we've got a new guy. I haven't seen him before, so maybe he hasn't been in before. Surreal Deal. He's just put a little notice saying, hoping Dirt Rally 2.0 is indeed one of April's PlayStation Plus games. Yes, while the game is fantastic, I do need to point out the fact that that actually cannot run with PlayStation VR. The VR is only available on PC for Dirt Rally 2.0. The original Dirt Rally you can play on PlayStation VR, and from what I understand, is a fantastic experience.
Yes, it is.
But Dirt Rally 2.0, unfortunately, on PlayStation VR will not be VR compatible.
Nice.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to go back to whoever's chat it was from Facebook, where is he? Joe, was it? I read out. Yeah, Joe Meyer. So anyway, Angry Joe, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of his channel. He done a review of Half-Life Alyx, and they, I assume, were either given or they have a Valve Index to play the.
Given it.
And
they were sending it along with the game.
Yeah, and it made them all ill. All three got really ill using the Index, and none of them.
There's one that didn't.
Oh,
no, they all got.
Yeah,
no, they all got ill.
I watched it.
Oh, they all got ill.
They all got ill. Yeah, they all got ill, and then they used the Oculus.
Sure they did.
Yeah, and then they use the
Yeah,
Oculus
that
Rift
just goes to my
S,
face.
and they're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
All of them played the whole
That's really
game.
bizarre.
Yeah,
I
so
saw that as well.
when I was going through, I mean, he even said in his video, he went like, we adjusted the field of view, the hertz, because you can do that in the index, can't you? You got, I think it goes from like 140 down to 80, I'm assuming, or something.
It goes, yeah, you go, well, you usually go the other way. So you've got a 90 and a 120 and a 144.
Right, so he tried all of them, and he said it didn't make any difference.
I
The
think it would
sickness.
most probably be to do with the field of view, because that's the one thing with motion sickness that they usually that a lot of people get on is the field of view. If you a lot of developers said if you narrow the field of view, it become motion sickness becomes less of an issue. It doesn't eliminate it, but it becomes less of an issue. I think so. Even though you can make adjustments with the valve, I think just because naturally it does have that wider field of view.
Right.
If you
Really?
haven't used a lot of VR, which is again that's one of the things. If you haven't used VR a lot, you kind of need to find your feet before you jump in, and that's most probably why they've been fine with the Oculus
Can they
Rift,
can
because
you
they've used that.
can you adjust the field of view in the index though, or not? Is it fixed?
Well,
A bit, because you've got a section which moves it forwards, backwards, so you can actually move it further away from your face, and that will actually make the
Increase it.
field of view
Yeah, yeah.
narrower.
Yeah,
And then if you pull it in, it'll come in closer. So
yeah.
I think the max is looking at about, well, depending on your eyesight and stuff, the max is about 140.
Yes, that's what I've heard. Yeah, 140. Yeah. But I'm trying to say, what I'm
Which
trying to
is
say is there must be
significant.
something quite important there. I think it's something really important, because one of the one things that holds VR back, and some people never using it again, is VR sickness, and the fact you've got
Yeah.
3 guys who are gamers regardless whether they use VR or not, which means they're used to fast flicking screens. You know, they're fast games. They have played VR now and again. For them all to be fine in one and all not to be fine in the other, there's got to be something in there. There's got to be.
That's a big issue. Yeah, and also
Yeah.
like the fact if you think like how many people have that don't normally play VR have got a Valve just to play this, and then they're gonna play it.
They're
and
going to
potentially
go
get
straight
sick,
in.
Go straight in, get sick, and that's the annoying counterweight to all the publicity, the awesome publicity that Half-Life Alyx has brought to VR.
Yeah.
If everyone goes, "Oh, this game's amazing," and everyone else like, "Oh, I just feel sick, man." Don't
Thank you,
even try
Michael.
VR, you feel sick.
Yeah.
You know, that obviously that's actually a really good point from Angry Joe to actually try it on a different headset, because most of the main publications wouldn't even bother. They'd normally just be like, "Nah, they won't even worry about it."
Yeah, none decent enough. But I mean, end of the day, I think they were just as excited as the rest of the world in gaming to check out Half-Life. And it was like Dunkey. I watched video game Dunkey. His videos are actually terrible because it's like it's all teleportation. It's all click. Yeah, it's actually it doesn't make the game look good at all, but he does because he's funny, and you got to love everything he does. You just do.
He just does some crap with any game he plays, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's amazing.
It's like millions of views.
It's
and
magic.
Like 10% of that. Boom.
It's just magic. Yeah, and I'm one of them, man. I'll sit there and watch his videos all the time. I like supporting
ridiculous,
him. But yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, they've given the game out to a lot of people who aren't VR enthusiasts, who know nothing about VR. Quite clearly, when you see some of these videos, it's obvious. You're like, man, you don't think you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Phaserlock represents. Yeah, hey, excellent. So, what did I play this week? Sorry, I forgot. I need to go back up. I usually do a lot of videos, even though I feel like I've done nothing. So since last week, because we had the X Falcon on, didn't we, last week?
Yeah.
From
We did.
In Dreams to talk about Phantom Covert Ops in depth. So if you want to check back on that,
and I've seen their trailer actually running separately. On a couple of YouTube videos I've joined in. Their trailers actually run at the beginning.
Yeah.
Before it goes into the video.
Right.
So that's pretty cool that it's getting that game out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big game, man. I think it's going to be a really big game. As Dane was saying earlier, checked out Paper Beasts, played a lot of that game. Didn't actually finish it, got very close to finishing it. No worries, Zombie. Zombie won a code for the game.
Cool.
Then I played all of Half-Life Alyx live. Absolutely loved that. Down the rabbit hole.
In chat, there's a link to Twitter. the giveaway from Down the Rabbit Hole is
Nice.
till the 1st. So that's got an Oculus Quest, the game, I think, pack of cards and a T-shirt.
Listen,
Maybe
and if
a
you
mug.
don't think you can win it, look at the man below me. Look at the man. Living proof. Living proof. You know,
You bet.
that's it. You don't have to be someone special to win something. You can just be your average.
That was a veiled insult. You can a manky hobo like this guy down here, and you can still win.
And let me check this out. We've done a developer interview, sorry, with Final Assault, the guy who's in the chat now from Phaserlock. That was really good, man. Like those guys, history in gaming, like Turok, the Turok series. I can't even think of the rest of the games. Loads of games. You've got South Park on N64. They've done so many different games. That's coming to PSVR next week. They told me we're going to have some keys for that as well. I've currently got 10 keys for this for PC. Steam keys.
Chopper, you've got something below your nose, mate. There's something below your nose.
I've got to wipe it off.
Yeah.
Many 12-year-olds would be
I mean,
jealous of
you
this.
know, I know you love comedy and all, man, but you guys just take that way too far with that.
And then
There's 12-year-olds out there that'd be jealous of this man.
Justin Timberlake's sporting one of them. No, not Timberlake. What's the other one? Who's the other Justin? Justin Bieber. He's got a moustache.
That's not a moustache. Come off here.
And then
Just wipe it off your face, man.
Then we checked out Arizona Sunshine.
Life.
That was pretty cool, the new DLC. And then Good Goliath, which we're going to talk about in a second because I really want to hear some people's thoughts on Good Goliath, what they think of it. And that brings us to some VR news. Yeah, that was it. See, that transition was absolutely seamless, and I've remembered to turn it off this week. So, yeah, literally, I've just given you a lot of it anyway. Final Assault coming on to PSVR. You guys looking forward to it? And have you played it? I'm sure Salsa might have played it because it's already on Steam and on. Yeah,
I haven't, but it's on my list. It's one of those ones where I think I need to have some other people playing at the same time.
Oh, look, I just want to say, I'm getting recognition. Dark, give me a laugh. Zombie went yay. Vita said nailed it. Boy Brad said, wow, that was smooth. I love it. Smooth. Identity Crisis, sorry I'm late. Hey, how's it going, guys? Not a problem. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Please remember to hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. So, yeah, Final Assault, RTS. I have played it very quickly. The graphics were absolutely amazing. I haven't played the PlayStation VR version yet. If anyone wants to jump to Discord after this show today, I will give away those 10 keys in the Discord today. So, and they will be Steam keys, so you can check that out on PCVR. Yeah, and as I said, they're going to give us some keys next week. And then also in the Discord, we're thinking of doing a tournament. So, yeah, that's going to, thinking about doing like a GC tournament with Phaserlock. They're going to be doing it with us as well. So that'd be pretty cool. I think it's also cross-platform, which is more important. You need that for games like this to live and expand. Then what else we've got? So, Good Goliath. Let's talk about that quickly. That comes out on March 31st. On everything, I seem to think it was a PlayStation exclusive, the way it's been advertised. And then when I saw Ian Higton's video, I think his name is, last over at Eurogamer, he was sporting a Rift S. And I was like, oh, I didn't realise. Honestly, didn't realise. So, have you guys played it yet, Good Goliath, at all? Anyone seen it?
I've seen it.
I've seen it. I haven't played it. It's this week has been all about Alyx.
Yeah, do you know what? If this channel wasn't like the channel I want it to be, where I'm dishing out new stuff, it would be that way for me as well, because it's very hard to stop thinking about that game, to be honest. So yeah, but yeah. What's your expectations of Good Goliath then, guys? At all? I mean, I don't know if you've seen anything
based on
it.
the trailer, it does look like there's some fun to be had, but I don't know how much fun there is in the game. So
yeah,
that's the kind of thing that's putting me off. It looks like you can have a fun time while you're doing it, but is it one of those games that will make you want to come back to it if you've played it for like an hour, 2 hours?
Yeah, I'll probably complete it and then never play it again, or at least for a long time. But it looks like you're saying, it'll be a fun couple of hours where you do play it.
I would say it might
maybe
last.
one that you think you need to come back to.
I reckon it's got a good 5-6 hours in it. That's without going back and completing stuff. The more I played of it, the more varied it became. Actually, it was quite surprising. It could have just stayed that standard. I mean, I'm stuck in a position and I'm just like grabbing things and throwing them, which is kind of like that. But they mix things up where, like, for example, you throw something at an enemy and they've got a cannon, then you get that cannon, and then like you can put people in the cannon to fire back at them. And there's like big bosses and stuff, which kind of reminded me a bit of Astrobot. One of them was really big and stuff, so it was pretty cool. It was a lot better than what I was expecting, but what we don't know is the price, and obviously that's
Right, yeah.
when people see that style of game, and it is an old style of game in a way, because it's like a wave killing game, isn't it? Really, and I can't think of what else
Yeah.
you describe it as.
That's one
They
of
said
the
it's a
things that
tower defense
also.
game, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You're not defending any towers, but I know what you mean. You're just
Yeah.
defending yourself.
that's what I was thinking. Like they describe it as a bit of like a tower defense game, and I love that game. Like Plants vs Zombies is a tower defense game. If you've ever played that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's
say
on
this is a
VR.
tower defense game. No.
No, from the trailers, I was like, it doesn't quite look like you're setting anything down. You're just there involved, which is fun, but you're not being. So yeah, I'm not about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out because I think it'd be fun for like a couple of hours. But yeah, it all depends on the price because that is quite an important factor.
Yeah, so one thing, like someone come in the chat and they were like, "This looks a great game for 2016," and I was like,
You're like, thanks.
but it is kind of a valid comment because at the point they were in,
Yeah.
it was very early on in the game, so literally people were coming out firing arrows at me or pitchforks, and I was grabbing the pitchforks and throwing them back. That was it. Like if you actually watch that game for 10, 20 seconds, even a minute in some places, that is all you get out of it, and you would think to yourself, haven't we sort of moved on a bit? Do you know what I mean? From this. But then, I don't know what Artful keeps writing, but for some reason I have to keep allowing his comments. I don't know what's going on. Or other people do anyway. Yeah, so the more I played of it, the better it became, to be honest. So yeah, I hope whenever any of you guys play it, give it a good hour, 2
It had a
hours.
swear word in there, by the way. That's why.
Oh, did it? Oh yeah, man. If anyone, I'm sure I allowed the comment anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but yeah, if you swear, man, YouTube flags it up straight away. But yeah, so that's just how that is, for unfortunately. Pistol Whip has currently got a tournament on to raise money for children's hospitals. This is over on Upload. Let me just get some information. A tournament for the popular VR shooter Pistol Whip is planning to raise money for Children's Miracle Network, a non-profit charity that supports children's hospitals. Where is it? Sunday, March 29th at 2 p.m. Pacific, the grand finals, which is today, for the tournament will be streamed by the top 3 competitors remotely. The in-person portion of the event was cancelled in the recent weeks because of social distancing and stuff. So, yeah, but that's really cool. So definitely check that out. I have retweeted this a number of times actually, this tournament. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, if you want to find out about anything like this or any of the guys. I'm pretty sure they would obviously support something like this if they see it.
On top of that, you got to remember a lot of the especially in the UK, and I assume it's the same for the majority of other countries that are locked down. Charity shops ain't open. They're not able to generate money. I read one of the charity shops are going to be 70 million pounds down on what they normally take in over March. They're not going to have that money. So what I would maybe suggest is if there is I support cancer charities. I always donate to them every year. I'm most probably going to just donate twice a year or twice now this year rather than the once that I normally do. Normally I just put like 100 or 150 pounds to one or two cancer charities. I'll most probably put it go up to like 300 for the year. Just to give them a bit of extra cash, because like I say, a lot of those charity shops at the moment they're closed down, they can't get any money. And the people that need their help are still out there. People still getting cancer. It isn't all about COVID. So yeah, like I say, guys, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. stick them a $5, stick them a $10.
Well, I'm going to put it in the description now for the video if you do want to, or you listen again, or you're not here now, and you want to donate. It'll also tell you all about the tournament and everything. So, yeah, that will be in the description now. It's called Extra Life, which is so gaming.
Extra Life.
Extra Life. What was that game? Do you remember a game called? I bet Nat does. Resogun. On the
Resogun was brilliant.
It was absolutely fantastic, wasn't
That
it?
was a launch title on the PS4. That was just because that was done by the same guys that did Alien Nation, and they did Dead Nation, which was fantastic and stuff like that. They do twin stick shooters. Super Stardust, they did.
That's it. Yeah, it was a massive game, dude. It was a massive game.
But Resogun really kind of knocked it out of the park. That was when Sony were really supporting indie developers. I don't think they're supporting them as much now. Although I've got to say, kudos to Sony for putting Shuhei Yoshida into a role that's going to nurture the talent of indie developers, and that's important specifically for VR.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, it's the indie developers that are bringing us. You know, End Dreams is not a AAA company; they're a indie developer.
Yeah.
So you want those sort of games on PlayStation VR. I mean, also Valve is an indie developer. They're just the biggest indie developer of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's JD Max. How you doing, man? How you doing? Who else has joined? Anyone else joined that I've missed in the chat? Identity Crisis. How you doing? Nice guys. Oh, so Michael, who's that on Facebook? Michael Delbert. How's it going? He's put woot. How you doing, man? You all right? Nice. Thanks for joining. Hello, golfer. How you doing? What's that? What are you looking at? What are you drinking? Copperberg. I haven't had Copperberg for years.
Yeah, that was just asking what I was drinking. So that's a fruity one. So strawberry and lime cider.
The fruity
Super.
one.
Always fruity one.
Nice.
Apart
Derivative.
from when I'm being saucy.
How you doing? Yeah, you can get. Yeah. Well, so anyway, right. For anyone who knows about Elite Dangerous, I don't really know anything about Elite Dangerous. I tried to start it. I failed at the training, but it is very cool to be in there.
It is.
But when we had Eric Hartley on the show, he basically said he agreed to some like journey. Do you remember, like an event?
Yeah.
How many light years did he say he'd signed up to or something?
It was big, huge numbers of light years.
Yeah, which
It took a very, very long time.
Yeah,
Big math.
That's it, man.
And just setting up a controller for that game is like serious business.
I need to check it out. I need to get back into it.
I had a friend of mine who said get the PS4 version. He's like, I know you're gonna love the game, and I couldn't land. And I spent like an hour. I even had him on watching my stream. I think the stream's still up there, and I was getting more and more frustrated, and more new swear words were being invented by me while I was playing it. And in the end, I was just like, you know what? He's like, oh, you know, if you spend, I think he turned around to me when I was on the next day at work. He's like, if you spend about 10, 15 hours, you'll get it, and then you'll be fine. It's like, I ain't got 10 to 15 hours to learn one game, not play a game, learn a game. It's just like, I ain't got 10, 15 hours to do that.
I think that's optimistic, actually, because just programming the controller really takes about 10, 15 hours.
Mate, I was struggling with Subnautica this week. I played that. It's just one of those, like, you know, it is a well-known game, but I've just never played it. The learning curve for me was really tough because there's no tutorial, there's no explanation.
It just dumps you in it. It's fantastic.
It is fantastic, funny enough. It just makes very hard watching. So yeah, the video I made was heavily edited because it was.
Mine isn't. Mine is, like I say, all my videos always include the effing and blinding.
Oh right, yeah, it wasn't just effing and blinding, dude. It was literally swimming around, going, "What is going on? I haven't got a clue. What am I doing? Where am I going? What is this? Why am I picking this up?" Like, I left some of that in there, but there was a lot of it where I was just like, "I haven't got a clue." And funny enough, watching myself back, there was something I really needed, and I already knew where it was. I'd come across it, but I'd forgotten about it, and that really peeved me off. So I can't wait to get back into it to make the thing that I was trying to make. But anyway, Elite Dangerous is going to receive new fleet carriers. Yeah. in a beta.
Yes, it is.
Ah!
They look
Ah!
they look very good and big and impressive.
Do you like that, Sales?
Well, if you can have a fleet carrier, you want it to
He's
be
free
big
for
and
tea.
impressive
You
looking.
want to scare people off when they get anywhere near you. Okay, look at that.
Exactly.
Look at that. Let me drop that on
You
the floor.
watch my fleet carrier.
Obviously compensating for
Gee,
something.
it
but-
caused a power outage when he dropped it. Jesus.
Boom.
But then we got, what else we got? Arizona Sunshine DLC. Dead Man's, I believe. Dead Man's. Yeah, Dead Man's. You guys have already...
Quest.
It come out on a Quest, yeah, which I think now is everywhere, isn't it? It's on every single platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you guys think of that? Because it was the shortest, cheapest DLC, I think, for the whole game.
I think I bought it and never played it. That's what I think. So I'm quiet now.
I enjoyed it. I got it for the PlayStation VR, and yeah, I mean it was a fun little addition. I mean, you know, Arizona Sunshine. I don't think I could recommend anyone pick Arizona Sunshine up at full price, because it now regularly goes on sale on everything except the Quest. But eventually it will go on sale at the Quest. But it's, you know, it's still a fun, fantastic game. I enjoyed my time with Arizona Sunshine on the Quest. Again, the developer kind to give me a code for the Quest version. I enjoyed my time. You know, yes, visually it's the worst version out of them all. But the thing is, Arizona Sunshine was never about the visuals. It was always about the fun, and especially if you can find someone to co-op with that game.
Yeah.
It is so funny. I was playing. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody who was in our YouTube circle, GT. Oh God, what's his name?
What,
That's
did he,
gonna annoy
did
me
he
now.
used to be on the our
he
round
used to be on
table?
yeah, he used to be on the round table.
Dave Station?
AWOL.
No, I haven't heard from him in ages. I wonder if I can find
Does
out.
he still
Lewis
do
Knight,
videos?
AWOL.
Preacher?
No, it's not Preacher. Hold on, let me just have a look at
Preacher
this
will
Jeff?
enjoy that.
thing.
Anyway, yeah, so that's out.
But yeah, I was playing it. It was great. So
All right. Sorry.
AWOL Soldier. There we go.
There we go. AWOL. Yeah, someone said AWOL, didn't they, earlier? Hello, Sly. How you doing? GT, do you have a HOTAS for Elite? No, I don't. But I do have this thing, which I know a couple of you might have. Which is the... oh, Danish, you got this, didn't you?
I do have protests.
Yeah, the Protas. Yeah, so this is a magnetic cup jobby. And you can put a touch controller on one end of it. And I did a video with N-Space to show it working. It was really cool. And it's quite cheap. And
It does work pretty well.
it does work really well, yeah. And that's for the Move controller cup. And because I've
Yeah.
got the Pro Tube,
More
anyway,
of a thing for
Pro Tube on
what do you call it? More of a thing for
No Man's Sky.
Go
No
on,
Man's
man.
Sky
Go on,
rather
fella.
than Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous side, I do have HOTAS. Obviously, I
obviously.
both the PlayStation 4 one and a.
Well, there's different
Rhino
versions of the HOTAS.
X56.
There's different versions.
Huh?
How many versions are there of the
HOTAS
HOTAS?
stands for hands on throttle and stick. So HOTAS isn't a thing. HOTAS is lots of different ones. So there's tons of different.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a term. It's a broad term. So I've got a Rhino X56 in there as well.
Sounds manly.
So that's
Big.
that's
Big.
lots of buttons.
Oh, I love
180
buttons.
buttons, I think.
Oh, 180. Whew.
180 buttons.
Yeah.
180.
In total, you could
What the? What do you want to do?
program.
What was? Oh God! What was the game on Xbox where you had the bloody
You're going to go on the
Steel
Mech
Battalion.
Warrior.
Steel Battalion? I always wanted that controller, man. That was like a thing of
That is
fantasy
a
for me.
mammoth controller.
That sounds even crazier. Have you got the HOTAS now? Can we have a look at it? I want to see 180 buttons look like.
Well, no, it's because you have a switch on there that will switch it through function. So
Hold on.
you have a 3 position switch, so you can just go bam, 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 bam.
So you've actually got 60 buttons times 3. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean? Oh, well, that's not as.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, when you said 180, I was like, it would have to be like a large console like that. Oh, wow, yeah.
It's basically just a keyboard, and everyone calls it a HOTUS, but it's just a keyboard.
Is that what it is? I didn't know. How much of the? How much
Yeah.
is this? How much does this Rhino cost you?
The Rhino, I got it on sale for 200.
What?
That's on sale.
Yeah, a little under
Me.
200. Little under 200.
You don't
yeah,
know, but
they can be
South has
expensive.
got nuggets. The geezer's got cash for days.
Sasha is minted.
No, I
Yeah.
He's
don't.
bought his
I,
new
I
house
don't anymore.
outright.
I have a
No
mortgage.
mortgage.
When I met him,
Now.
Doesn't
I
have
went.
I will have a mortgage now, so
For like
When I
6
met-
quid.
I'm now completely in debt.
When I went to meet South, I went to shake his hand. He just threw a 20 in my face. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he went, "Sorry, it's just habit." He said, "It's just habit. I do apologise." And I picked it up to give it to him. And went, "Hey, keep that, mate." And we walked off. It was like, it's just how he is. He just throws money at you.
Yeah,
Lovely
right.
days.
Yeah.
I wish I had money to throw money at people.
Just puts it in your face like whack. Take that.
Yeah.
Nice. Dark says that is a sweet deal. That's literally showing how much I know about anything. Artful says it's
Yeah,
250.
Yeah, they're usually about 250, 300, something like that.
That is impressive. Next up
Great.
is Google Tilt Brush. A surprise launch for PSVR,
yeah.
but Dane tells us that it's only in the NA region. Is that right?
NA
So-
region and potentially Japan. It's not in UK at least.
Right. Okay. But it's
I had to
easy
check
enough
earlier.
to set up another account, isn't it? Another region account.
Yeah.
It is, but you'd be surprised how many people haven't.
Mm. Well,
Okay.
the other thing is getting currency onto the other account that a lot of people go, oh, this is such a pain getting the
Well,
currency on."
Japan's a good one because they have quite a bit of free stuff as well, so that you
They
can't
do.
get. So it's still got one of the best well, not interactive videos, but one of the best videos I've ever seen for 360-degree content. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bounce,
There is a
jiggle,
lot of.
jiggle.
I think definitely on the Japanese store there was the most free content.
Yeah, without doubt. Godzilla was on there. Do you remember that? Did you ever play that?
yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
still got it.
Godzilla. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You can't get it anymore. It's been removed.
Secrets. How did you get that in there? How did that actually get up in my chat, man? That's going to go up on
I
my
have
screen now.
No idea how.
You pain in the ass. I can't believe that. That's going to go up on my bloody chat. How am I going to get rid of
Not
that?
expletive, really. So
Oh, dear.
Well, obviously you didn't
It's
put
fine,
that
it's
as one of
fine.
your words.
Well, no,
that gets
secrets-
lost.
No,
No, because mod power. It's called the power of mod.
oh, is he a mod? He's
Yeah.
abused
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mod power.
Ah,
Easy
shut
come,
up.
easy go, my friend.
Trouble.
Oh, and he's just said whatever.
No way.
Oh, he's just said whatever as well.
Oh, Scott, man.
He's on thin ice now. He's on thin ice.
Thank you ever so much for that donation, dude. Cheers, man. Thank you. And he says,
Thank you, Scott. It's
Us-
appreciated.
I see you people watching. Hit that damn like button. Thank you ever
It
so
is.
much.
It looks like this. Just like this.
That's it, man. Stone him. Yeah. So yeah, they're a thing. They're a thing. Secrets he's saying about.
No, Tilt Brush is in UK
Alright.
store, 1999.
Oh, superb.
Nice. Wasn't here. When I looked. but
Sorry,
yeah, awesome.
15.99.
$15.99.
Sorry, 1999.
What's what is that? That's what's that's what Rose was using, wasn't it?
Yeah, she used Tilt Brush
yeah.
a lot. Not on
Yeah.
PSVR,
Yeah.
obviously, but nice.
I wonder what the limitations are, like the difference.
Well, I would say on.
'Cause she said on Quest she had trouble, didn't she, a couple of times?
Yeah, on it'll be the number of elements that you can use. So you'll be restricted by the types of brushes that you use and the number of elements that you can use on screen at any given time.
Yeah.
On the PC side, it's basically unlimited. But on Quest, and I would presume on PlayStation VR, it will be limited to a certain number of marks that you can use
Sweet.
or elements.
I've just seen Dane's beaker. That is so cool. I haven't got any beaker. We haven't got
It's
any
the best
beakers.
speaker.
I do miss a beaker. I've had some good beakers in my time.
This is what happened after the Vikings had their flagons of ale. They moved on to plastic beakers because it made them feel more manly. That's just a history fact for you there.
Okay, so the Room VR, a dark matter. Dane, take it away, sir, because I believe just today you uploaded a video about it. 30 minutes of gameplay, I believe I read.
I did, yes. That game is wicked. It looks amazing. So I've played it on the Quest. Obviously, it's on the PSVR and many other headsets. It looks amazing. The way it's set up is really, really cool. The storyline for what there is in an escape the room type of game is very, very engaging. The puzzles are nice, and when you get to, I think, so it's kind of almost like a brief tutorial. Then you do the first level, and you get to almost like the second level, and it has kind of some perspective shifting puzzles, and they blew my mind. They were so cool, and they.
How far
kind of
was that
brought
into the
a
game,
really
dude?
amazing sense.
How far was
That was in like the chapel, like the second, or the I don't know whether it's chapel
The
or.
bit I played was where you were in like the main bit in the beginning, then you go to like an Egyptian area.
Yes, and then after that is a.
I haven't played after that. Are you telling me that's the best?
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
So the first bit with the like Egyptian area is very cool,
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of unique kind of different bits and pieces going on.
Yeah.
And then it goes on, and it's got some spooky bits as well. Some bits actually probably made me like cap my pants.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like because it's kind of silent. You're sitting there thinking constantly. You're not really conscious that there's going to be a jump scare or anything like that. And it's not necessarily the jump scares, but there's things that suddenly happen that will potentially make you jump. And then you get to the next level, and that had some perspective shifting puzzles that were really, really cool. And I was like, this is done so well.
Yeah.
This is a developer that's gone VR, can really got a bunch of different puzzle games. And I actually bought one on mobile straight after because I thought these puzzles are so cool.
Yeah.
I thought VR can really add a lot to this, and it does. And when they play with that, it's really, really cool. So I've not even played much past that point. So I played like the first kind of 2 main levels, I suppose. And I'd already recommend it.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to play more. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I didn't know I was actually going to enjoy it as much as I did. As you said, it's just very well done, isn't it? And it's very high. It's a very high quality game. You can see there's so much quality going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
One big question I have: your T-shirt, is that a Hey Arnold T-shirt? I'm just.
Move over, foot.
I knew it.
But man,
I could just tell. I could, it's just one of them.
Monkified's put a question, I think, to Chopper. I can't see a donate button.
You got a donate button, Danish?
What should we? I don't have a donate button, do I? What are you on about?
I can't see a donate.
Well,
button.
you wouldn't. What's your subscriber count, Chopper? Because you got to be over 1,000. Yeah.
No. What I said to him, because he keeps asking for me to do impressions of Arnie, and I said donations.
Okay.
Am I going to get for impressions? And I said, geez, he's royal cheap. So I think that's what he's asking about. There's a little dollar sign next to the chat.
So you want people to super chat so you can do Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions?
I think that's the only time I'm allowed to want it in. Otherwise it might be a bit.
Oh man, well I better get ready to retire then. This is going to be awesome.
Look at GT's arms. They're like sticks. He needs some more Roy, and they're costly. They cost a lot of money.
Mate, I'm missing a gym so
There
bad.
is a shortage of weights at the moment.
There is. No, honestly, no.
Money.
Here it comes. Here we go. This is crazy.
Monkified. Hey, hang on. Monkified. Get to the chopper now.
Thank you, Monkified.
You paid for that.
He says, I want a Monkified get to the chopper. So yeah, thank you, dude. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you, Dane, for that, man. I mega appreciate that. The room is $22.99 on Quest. May wait and
more
see.
on PlayStation VR.
Oh, okay. So it's 25 on the PSVR and 22.99. What'd you say about that price then? I mean, how many levels are there? And to be fair, I mean, that's the only problem with an escape room experience, isn't it? For yourself, it isn't going to be much replayability.
I think it's about. I've heard that it's level. I think do the tutorial, but that can take you maybe an hour each, potentially, depending on how quick you can solve the puzzles. I think I've played for I think the second level I played for an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. And I don't think I got lost too much. So I think like doing the first few levels and like the tutorial took me 2-3 hours. So it really does depend. But yeah, but it's hard because I suppose gameplay length, if you compare it to other games, like Superhot, you can probably complete in an hour if you're good. But Superhot is amazing, and I'd say like pay 40 quid for that because it's such a cool experience.
But Superhot,
If you
I
like
would
proper
replay a
games-
lot.
That's true. That
You
is
know,
true.
and I'll tell you why, because there's something about
Yeah.
one of the things about Superhot. There's not many games that grip me like that. I wanted to get quicker and faster because the first time I played it, it actually took me quite a while to play it and get all those levels. I got really stuck in a couple of them,
Yeah.
and now I can do it any time. I could probably just pop in there and do it within half an hour, just because you know where they're coming from. And I really enjoy that because not only do you learn what they're going to throw at you, you can sort of then make it feel quite cool. Do you know what I mean? You can do like quite cool shit.
It's role playing in a way, isn't it? It's role playing.
It's wicked. I love it.
Certainly going there being I'm going to be Neo.
No.
Somebody's giving you a diss in the chat, GT.
Someone's giving me a diss.
A diss.
Have
Right.
a look.
Oh, have we banned
Out the
them?
room.
Have we banned them?
Yeah.
Have we banned them already? We kicked them off the channel?
Where is this?
What we do? I don't want to see this. Where's my
Yeah,
security? Where's my bouncers?
Well,
Sorry,
you
yeah.
know, he didn't.
Where's the GT
question your
Massive?
stealth gaming, at least.
What?
What was that?
I
What?
didn't say anything. Did
Oh,
I say anything?
Okay, yeah, all the gyms are closed now, dude. Scott, what we got here? Dark, I want a quote from Commando at Get to the Chopper VR. Have you got a Commando quote? You can just. Do you need time, or you got? No, he doesn't need time.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
You're lucky. Usually they're paid for, apparently. What else
I
we
know,
got?
I know. I let him off easy.
Yeah, that's it. I think VR is making me thicker. I got stuck on a puzzle in Down the Rabbit Hole. The room is probably a 30-hour game for.
Told you
seen
someone
it?
dissed you, man.
That gauntlet is like on that floor. It's on the floor, man.
Mate, I feel like I've been
Oh,
smacked.
Suck his
he's,
chin.
he's gonna
I've been
have to pick
backhanded
that
by
one
a
up.
virtual glove.
He's gonna have to pick that one up.
Am I that crap? my God. I had no idea. I thought I was really good. Well, there you go.
Stealth
That's.
is your downfall. Stealth is your downfall. Not puzzles.
I really try. I really do.
You
Yeah.
want to be the stealthy player. We
You know,
all
like-
know this.
You know, like Splinter
And
Cell.
then somebody puts a machine gun to one side, and GT is like, "What's this?"
Splinter
Oh,
Cell,
okay,
man.
oops.
I struggled with that game because I just wanted to knock everyone out and kill them all the time. And you always die, don't you? You never come off. You're not the superhero in those games. You are actually as vulnerable as a normal human being. So you get shot, you're done. So everyone's talking about house repairs and stuff. We'll just skip on that. So yeah. But yeah, anyone else got? That's it, man. Has anyone else got anything to add for anything I want to talk about, as in news and stuff this week?
Well,
I
we got an
agree, just-
announcement of new headset from HP.
We
The
have.
HP
Just
Reverb
the same.
G2.
Yeah.
Which, according to the thing, is a collaboration between HP, Microsoft, and Valve. Although I don't think Valve have got too much to say in the headset. I think it's just a case that Microsoft needed Valve's help to get Steam VR working on the Windows mixed reality headsets, because their own VR content on their own Microsoft store was lacking, to say the least. And I think because this is a Generation 2 mixed reality headset, makes sense that they're asking Valve's help to get Steam VR working on that one.
It looks an excellent headset as well. Do we know the stats
Well,
on this?
Maybe
There's no stats.
There's nothing. That's the problem. There's
Just
only
says
one
that-
image.
Yeah, it says it comes up on the it's like a 13-second trailer, and it comes up the next generation, no compromises. So it's
Yeah,
going to
no.
be very interesting to see what they think the next generation is.
Yeah, see, this is what gets me. The bit where you normally have the cameras for the mixed reality.
Yeah.
Looking in there, I haven't seen more of a camera. So, like, it reminded me more of the Steam, sort of like sensor bits that was on the original Vive.
Oh, you're thinking it's going to be lighthouse tracking?
I'm like, is it going to be like house tracking? Is it going to be like full Steam VR and not MR?
The thing is, though, that I question with that is, I mean, wouldn't they
'Cause
be
the
competing
MR
against that?
controllers are terrible.
Wouldn't they be competing against their own headset? Because say HP come out at less of a price.
Yeah, but they have always been wanting to be open on as a platform. It's not their absolute main deal. They always want to be quite open in a number of things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but also look at it. If anyone that does buy a HP headset, whether it's the original Reverb or this new one, and they go onto Steam, what's going to be the first game they buy?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess Valve are laughing. There was a number, wasn't there? There was something today. Someone put something about how many copies it sold or how much money it's made. Is it
no, I mean,
A
I
lot.
think the concurrent users was known, wasn't it?
there was that one, yeah, and there
The
was something
concurrent
else.
users went up to about 45,000 concurrent users, something
I think it
close
was
to
higher
that
than
number.
that initially.
Yeah, I've no
Higher
idea.
initially. Okay,
Mhm.
that's the number that I had seen. But
Down
you
to
know,
about 5 now.
Hey, what's that, mate?
No one cares about it.
What's that? What?
Half-Life Alyx. Done.
Mate, if only that was true. Oh man. So I mean, let's just quickly go over what Dane thinks of Half-Life Alyx, because I know he's seen it. Like what do you? I mean,
From what I've seen,
yeah,
it looks bloody amazing. It looks like near complete to the best VR game. And obviously, this is just on looking at it, right? So that's a crap statement because I've not played it. Maybe off in the distant future, I've got money to see.
yeah,
It might be. But anyway, yeah, it looks amazing. I get what a lot of people are saying, like some of the gripes with it, which I'm sure you guys are coming on to in terms of combat. You've not really got any kind of melee combat, which really struck me as a big whoa. I wasn't expecting that. That would have been one of the things I was thinking would be amazing, because you've kind of seen that with Boneworks, you've seen that with Walking Dead, and you thought, yeah, this is like almost a next step in that same evolution of interactivity of games, as well
Yeah.
as that kind of high quality. So that really shook me a bit. I was really surprised. It seemed like a missed opportunity to really nail this in the coffin, to say this is the complete VR game. Because at the moment, what I'm seeing across social media and all that sort of stuff and reviews is that, oh, it would have been great if it had this from The Walking Dead, or it had this from Boneworks. So it almost seems like there still needs to be that complete game that has everything encompassed, which, you know, it's going to happen one day.
Yeah.
A lot of people expect it to be, but from a graphical standpoint, it looks amazing. From, you know, story wise, it's got a deep, enriching story from what I can tell, that really engages people, and that's something that's unfortunately lacking from a lot of VR games. There's not, like Boneworks, for example, again, another game I've not played, but a complaint I often hear about that, there's not much of an engaging story. It's just a sandbox to play in, which is amazing for VR physics.
Yeah.
But from a storyline perspective, it's not there, whereas Half-Life has got that. It's just not got as much physical interactivity as Boneworks might have, that people might have the expectations for it. But yeah, I'm really jealous. I can't lie. I think it looks amazing. I'd love to play it. I have to put my hands up and say
is...
I've never played any Half-Life games apart from, I think, the first one years ago.
Okay.
So
You should get it on your Quest, dude. In VR, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've downloaded. Was it Lambada?
Yeah.
Pretty
I've
much.
downloaded that, so I'm going to check it out. Is that Half-Life 1 or both?
Yeah,
Half-Life 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember playing that years ago.
I think they might be
PS5.
adapting, because it's like a multi-adapter thing they used with that engine as well. There's another
Nice.
game that you can use as well.
Yeah,
It was
I played
awesome.
the old like Quake ones, but yeah, I'll check out Half-Life at some point very soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks amazing. It really does look amazing, and it's an amazing achievement to see how much coverage it's getting. Like, my Twitter feed is full up with Half-Life Alyx, whether it's from big publications or, you know, small-time YouTubers, big-time YouTubers, whatever it is, it's everywhere, which is amazing for VR. And 99% of it is all positive, which is really, really great for VR in general. It's just come at a crap time in the world, but, you know, we don't want to talk about that too much because it's obviously it's everywhere. But it's just that might be a little bit that in reality holds it back from having as much of an impact as we might have expected it to, because from all the reviews and all the feedback, it looks like it could have made the biggest impact ever for VR.
I think it has, regardless. Anyway, I
Mm.
mean, I've never seen a VR game covered all at the same time so much across every
Yeah.
tuber. Even tubers I don't watch, but I know of, I checked. They've all
Well,
covered it.
PewDiePie, I mean, usually he only makes maybe one video on a VR game. He's made 3.
Well, he's
on
doing
Alyx.
he's doing the whole game. He's doing the whole game,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did that, and I know you did as well. Where I played the whole game through. I don't do that normally. I'll
No.
maybe do a couple of hours. I mean, I have played games all the way through, but that's only because I didn't realise how long the game was going to be.
Yeah.
I've gone the other way. I've played the first. Well, my first PlayStation is online, but everything else I've done since then has been offline, and we'll see which way it's going to go from there.
Yeah.
Well, this is a discussion for a little bit later.
Well, it'll have to be now. We
It'll have to be
we can
now.
we can do a soft chat about it. I'm not getting any reply from Lincoln now. He's gone dark, so he's just disappeared. So let's. Dane, you're gonna have to hang around if you want. I mean, you can leave if you like, dude. I'll just have to put a picture in the way.
No, I'm happy to hang around.
Oh, cool, man, cool.
I'll just stay remarkably still and stare
I
at the
do
camera.
have to. I would say one of the things I'd have to say to Dane as well, actually, and other people out there, if you've only seen it on a flat screen, this is a game that actually really does look a hell of a lot better in the headset than it does on the flat screen.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I don't think it's weird. I don't think it looks better. Like that isn't the word. There's another word.
You
As
lose
good
a lot
as.
of the immersion.
More complete.
It must be immersion. Yeah, there must be something because obviously you're wrapped in that world.
It's more complete.
How it looks
in
on
the
that
headset.
screen, it looks the same. It looks so bloody detailed. So what we can do then? Let's talk about. We can talk about obviously the graphics, the sounds, the gameplay, for example.
yeah.
Like Dane brought up some really good points there straight away about the reasons that in my first time of playing it, I was a bit like, this isn't what I expected. I was expecting Boneworks in Half-Life. That's what I was expecting. There was no jump button, there was no run button, there was walking up to windows and pushing forward and teleporting. And I was thinking like, and at the time, it was only click turning. And I thought, dude, this game looks like the future, but plays really old.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, they've been making this game for 4 years, so there's certain obviously design decisions that you make 4 years ago, 3 years ago that you have to stick with. So the one thing that kind of took me back a little bit was the melee, because I just kind of figured, okay, there's going to be some sort of melee in the game.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe if I grabbed a brick, that would work.
I tried both of
But
them.
it didn't.
Yeah, so I mean that thing, but I think that was a design decision. You can definitely tell that the even though it was implemented great, the smooth locomotion was an afterthought. It definitely was that the game was built around teleportation.
Yeah.
And I think the smooth motion was an afterthought. It implemented really well. The smooth turning, to be honest, I've always used snap turning. Smooth turning, unfortunately, makes me ill, even now. So I've always used it, but I always was under the thing that, okay, there's no smooth turning thing, because I heard a lot of people complain about that, and it's like, that is most probably one of the simplest things for Valve to implement, and they did within, what was it, a day?
Yeah, it weren't
Well,
long.
less than a day. And we have a small interruption here to our regular service. Take it away.
Get to the toilet paper now! Your ass is stained!
So there you go. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you ever so much. Thank you for that donation. Thank you to get to the chopper for that crazy
I
thing.
just
They
have to
keep
stay around for
getting
that now. I'm just going to sit here and chill back until my time comes.
Well, that's.
I was just going to say, man, Lincoln's now turned up, dude.
That was a good outro.
Yeah. So we're gonna get Lincoln on. So yeah, man. Thank you
Nice.
ever so much for being on the show. Obviously you're gonna be back next week if you can, if everything's right at home and stuff, because that's why you couldn't make it last week. Because obviously everything as we know it is a little bit flipped around at the moment.
Yeah, man. But yeah, thank you very much for having me. Love being here as always. Sad I couldn't meet the guys from the last 2 ones, but yeah, happy to be back, and I'll be back next week. All things going well. So I would see you later. I'll be back. I'll do it like this. Bye. Right, I gotta click some buttons now. You click.
Suppity sup! Look who we've got back for the Half-Life Alyx exclusive chat. We got Lincoln Clay back in the building. How you doing, man? You all right?
I am doing pretty good. I have been hanging out in Wakanda, playing a lot of VR. You know how that goes.
Nice, dude. It's good to see you. Nice smiling face, man. It's weird. It's like it feels a bit of an old get back together. It's strange.
Got to thank Midlife Gamist as well.
Oh, thanks, Midlife. If you got to go, dude, no worries, man. Thank you ever so much for dropping in, and thank you ever so much for that donation. Cheers, dude. Thank you. Yeah, we had 2 minutes. I hope you've all used the loo and stuff. So, we just started talking about Half-Life Alyx, and you have played it, Lincoln.
Yes, I have.
And have you completed it?
No, I have not. I actually hit a roadblock. You know that.
Oh, no. Oh, whoa.
No.
Wait, 1 second.
No.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler.
Oh,
It's
cool.
a glitch. It was a glitch.
Okay.
You know about the update, right? Where everybody wanted the smooth turns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got that update, it froze the game. You know, the game was stuck. And so I backed up a chapter, and it was going to play, but by that time, Valve had already rolled out another update to fix it.
Right. Gotcha.
So I got set back a couple of days because of that, because I even deleted the game and tried to reinstall it.
Oh,
I
no.
thought something was wrong on my end, but I did
Well, so you had-
my progress.
You had to do all that unpacking again. Oh.
I don't know, because I basically uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and then took a nap.
You're so laid back.
That was the thing that I was just like, oh no, when I first did the, because obviously I did the pre-load, and then when I hit play, and it was like, yeah, we got to unpack it, and it was just like, no, why are you making me wait again?
Yeah.
I just want to get on with it.
But that unpacking, oh my God.
Yeah. It was awful, wasn't it? It was like, no, don't do this.
I
And the
didn't
thing
have
about
any
it
of those
is,
problems.
I worked a 10-hour shift. So by the time I got home from work, there were streams all over the place.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking I can jump right in because I let it download overnight. And then I get home and find out that I got to unpack it. That took another 2 hours.
Oh, dude. I think it took me something like 45 minutes, but people with SSDs, they were like 18, 19 minutes, you know, unpacking. So I just want to jump in the chat. Someone's just said about, so Artful said, I'm playing it 30 minutes a day to make the experience last. It sounds like South has done something very similar.
No, I didn't. I did not. I did take longer than some other people because mine was about 17 hours.
Yeah.
Playtime, 17.7 hours. Basically, no bucket was left unturned. No drawer left unsearched through, and all of that business. And I still managed to miss things.
Detective South.
Because
Jesus, how many drawers and buckets did you turn over that your playtime took 5
Many.
hours longer than mine?
Yeah. Mine was 9
Many.
hours, roughly, I think.
Yeah, I was 12.7.
I sort of like, one of the comments I did actually get on my stream was when I came to, I only done one stream on it. So all of my gameplay has been offline.
Right.
And one of the comments I got on stream was, thank you for not rushing through it like everybody else.
Oh.
Apparently they found the pace of a lot of people was a lot faster. And I'm one of those types, I just have to go, ooh, can I do this? So I'm checking out to see what things actually have physical reactions and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'd say is we all know graphically this game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's just put it out there. I don't know what other people's systems were they set their settings to. I had mine on high.
Same.
Because first of all, I was streaming. I didn't want to mess up too much.
What was your recommended then? Ultra.
My recommended is high.
Oh, right, yeah.
But you can push ultra.
Right, okay. I wouldn't try it streaming, I don't think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I played on the safe side there. Plus, obviously, it has there's a separate mode stuff in there for the streaming view, which does different things.
Yep.
So you can have left eye, right eye, you can change the HUD overlays, and you can actually get to smooth out your head bobbing and stuff like that.
Hello, Scottish. How you doing, my friend?
But
so let's talk about the price point
gorgeous.
as well, though, because some people, unbelievably, were like, this game is too expensive. Does anyone feel that the game was too expensive?
No, I mean, what do you get from a mainstream AAA game? How much does a mainstream AAA game cost? How much gameplay do you get from most?
And that's the thing, dude. How many games are of this size, of this caliber, of that price? A lot of games are. I would say, what is the average price of a PC VR game or a VR game? What would you say?
Well,
about 30, isn't it?
Across the board. Across the board.
It's about 30.
Yeah.
About 30 is the usual
Yeah.
price. If you look at like
25, 30.
Stormland and Asgard's Wrath and Lone Echo, they're all £30. So.
Well, Asgard's was more expensive.
See, I would say.
No,
Asgard's
was $40.
It's £30.
Okay, £30.
Right. Yeah.
But I think it was worth. I think it would have been worth 50 for 25 to 30 hours of gameplay. I think it would have been worth 50.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you look at games like flat screen games. There's a lot of flat screen games that have the same playtime, but nobody says about them being 45 quid.
No, I'm glad. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad that at the end of the day, as long as the game does produce as good a standard, do you know what I mean? As the game, you know, that's what you're looking for.
This game brings it.
Because what I was trying to. Do you remember back in the day? I seem to remember when I first got into VR. Apart from the odd gem like Batman and a few others, there was a case of like you seem to pay around £25-30 for something that honestly wasn't worth it just because it was VR. And now the scales have like, in my mind, gone to you're getting some high quality experiences, and the prices are getting close to being a representation of what you're receiving. If you understand what I'm saying.
Well, you got two things there. First of all, I mean, I said ages ago that if you want a proper AAA games, you got to pay AAA game prices. Doesn't
Yep.
matter if it's in VR or not in VR.
Yep.
Agreed.
So that's the one thing about obviously this particular game. Added to the fact there is going to be value. Like I'm now replaying. Admittedly, I'm playing it in shorter spurts and I'm not streaming it, but I am now playing the game on hard, whereas I played the game on just normal previously, because I wanted to see if there's any significant changes in AI things. But you've also got to remember that Valve have released some what's the thing that so modders can have a look at the game and they can start messing around with it. They've put that sort of stuff in there, so there is going to be additional things there, because I mean somebody's already modded the game. They found an old file from like years ago when Valve were trying it with like the Half-Life 2 weapons, playing it flat screen, just to kind of check the environments, go through the environments, and somebody's already started to, found that file and they've started to mod it flat. But the problem, obviously, with the game is you lose so much. Like, I don't know what you guys thought, but
Well,
every
there's
room I
two
went
versions.
into,
There's two versions. There's that version you said about, which is what Valve had there as a tool, which they've withdrawn. And then there is the modded version, which is not that version, is a different version which somebody is building a mod for now.
Right.
But
the version that was there, they literally took the interface from Half-Life 2, including weapons, and dropped in as a control mechanic for Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
When there's doing the dev work. The new mod is something that somebody's building kind of differently around it, so they've got a way to engage the hands. But it wasn't the original one that the team put in there.
Yeah.
So it's a different build that they're trying to do with it.
Isn't that funny how, as VR gamers, we keep starving for someone to take a flat screen game and add a VR mod to it, and this time they're going the other way around. The flat screeners are screaming for someone to mod this game so they can play it on a flat screen.
I feel sorry for him, dude. Honestly, I think even if you play that game and it works really well, because what I saw, it didn't look good at all at the time. It didn't look right, but
well, the thing is, it's got a different pacing. I mean, that was the one thing I recognised from the game. I don't know if you guys recognised it, but Valve absolutely nailed the pacing on the game. Like, one of the complaints I remember hearing from a lot of things, because I watched a lot of reviews after I played the game, and in a lot of reviews, one of the biggest complaints I got was there's no run button. I never missed a run button. There's only one section where I was like, oh, a run button would have been nice in this section, but I never felt, okay, a run button. Added to the fact, if you played this game on a flat screen game, you go into a room, you will just bust through that room as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But when we went into that room, what was the first thing on our minds? Where will I find resin? Where will I find ammo? That's a really rare thing, because I was never bored of that mechanic. I was never bored of, oh God, I've got to search through this drawer now. I was like,
no, I
wonder what I'm going to find in this drawer. I wonder what I'm going to find in this box. I just loved it. I was having so much fun.
How many cans can I fit into this bucket?
I didn't try that.
I found it to be a necessity.
You didn't play that? Oh, no. You had to do something else like that.
Did you crush the cans though? Did you manage to crush the cans?
No, I missed the fact that the extra button will allow you to crush a can.
I didn't know that.
If you don't have the index controllers.
Yeah, if you press the two grips and then hit a button, it crushes the can.
The index controller obviously has grip sensitivity.
Yeah.
So there is an award for crushing a can. There is also an award for squishing a head crab's heart. But yeah, because we don't have the grip sensitivity.
Yeah. What was you going to say, Lincoln? Sorry.
Grip and press button.
Oh, I was going to say that I found it to be a necessity to search a room because my one complaint about the game, it is not a big deal, but I wish it would have had a feature like Saints and Sinners, where if you're out of ammo and one of the zombies attacks you, you can like push him back and keep him at a distance.
Yeah.
Maybe grab a pipe or something that was laying on the ground and maybe hit him and stun him. So you can buy yourself some time, because there was a point in the game where I had to go through the entire chapter with no ammo because I used it up trying to kill the head crabs.
Yeah, so I was saying to someone the other day, you can actually grab the crab, and even though you take a little bit of a hit, you can grab one and shoot it. Especially the ones that have the shells on them. They're a pain in the ass. But so like, did you, as we said, I don't know if you was here when we said this. I was saying that it felt like quite an old game to me.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. Obviously, the story, the sounds of music in it are superb.
It's an odd mixture in that it is a new game. It looks like a new game in VR. It's got everything there. Some of the physics, yes. Some of the physics are old school. Then some of the moving things are old school in terms of VR, and are also reminiscent of older games. It's literally, it did at one point make me go, this really is like Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, in between both of them in terms of the game mechanics that's going on.
Yeah.
And then it had the other twists in it which are brought by VR. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Like I say, obviously, as I said earlier in the show, you know, this game has been in development for 4 years. I can't think of any other VR game that's had that sort of extended length of development time. And there are design decisions that Valve would have had to have made 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that you cannot change. You know, and I've got a feeling Melee was the one design decision that they kind of said no. Valve have actually even spoken about this, about why they haven't put Melee in the game. Like, that people have brought up Boneworks and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. And their reasoning doesn't actually make any sense when you compare it to Boneworks and Saints and Sinners. Their reasoning is because there's no force feedback. You know, if you thump someone, there's no force feedback that you're going to gain from it. Whereas obviously Walking Dead Saints and Sinners and Boneworks, yes, there's no force feedback, but you have to imagine the force feedback, and it's very easy to imagine it.
Yeah.
But I think because they made that decision, say 4 years ago, we're not going to do it. I think it was just too late because they would have had to retool the whole game. I think it was just too late for them to implement it.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
I can see that happening. You know, you got Cold Jones this sort of like made. The other thing is this game was made for newcomers to VR as well.
You should cater for them. I don't think it's made for them. I don't think it's made for them.
Oh, it definitely caters for them.
Yeah, I think it caters for them, but I don't think it was made for them. Personally, but I do think it caters for them.
I think it was some of the decisions, like you've said, was made at the point where they were still going by the VR rules. If you you know, the old school VR rules.
Yeah.
To me, the game had a feeling of, this is the big budget AAA game that you've been waiting for.
Oh yeah, definitely. Its quality it's unmatched in a lot of terms when it comes to certain aspects of its quality. There's no denying it. You know, as we said, graphically and sound wise.
Yes, please. I actually thought to myself it was a bit of a line in the sand for me in virtuality. Obviously, I've been doing it a long time, so have you guys been in there. This feels like the first of a next generation of software.
Yes. It's the first start.
It's the first start of it going from
I
like
agree with you 100% that this is a line in the stand that if you want, I sent out a tweet after I finished the game. I said it's definitely going to be the VR game of the year. I can't see anything else that's going to come out that's going to match it. I goes, there's an argument to be made that it's the best Half-Life game. because
yeah.
there was never any point in Half-Life Alyx where I was bored, or I just thought, oh, the developers don't really know what they're doing, so they're just throwing more enemies at you. Whereas something like Half-Life 2, there were certain bits of that. Whereas as amazing as that game is, there were certain sections in that I'm just like, developers didn't know what the hell they were doing, so they're just sending as many enemies as they can at me to give me something to do beyond that. And then the third one is, this is going to be, in my opinion, the very first VR only game, VR specifically built VR only game that will be in the Game of the Year contenders, just for a game. It is that good.
Yeah, I can see that as well. It is a classic. It feels like a classic.
Yeah.
But there's still at the same time, it still brings it, and I think you're right on that, because I mean, if you take a look at, say, Half-Life 1, Half-Life 1 came along where everybody said, well, you have to do multiplayer. Nobody wants a first-person narrative game anymore. There's nothing new and fresh about that. And Valve proved everybody wrong and went, you want to bet on that? Here you go.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And they pushed boundaries at the same time. And the same for Half-Life Half-Life 2. They went, right, we've brought in different elements here.
Yeah, they done it again.
Bring it up again.
Yeah, definitely.
And Half-Life Alyx has, again, done the same sort of deal with VR, but it's also sort of quasi done the same thing backwards. As in, to me, it feels like they have literally dragged some of the elements that came from Half-Life 1, the reason that Half-Life 1 was there in the first place, of you can still do a narrative AAA game without having to rely on multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you can bring that through. And then they've also gone, and here's the physics in good physics. Then they've gone, and right, since we're here, 3D spatial sound. Hello.
Oh, the
Say
sound.
Boom.
Oh, God.
Did we all play on the Rift S?
Yes.
No, I played on the Quest.
You played on the Quest. Did you, the other thing, did you use earphones or in-ear earbuds, or did you use the actual Halo strap speakers?
I use literally this headset that I'm using
same
here.
as I use headset.
What about you, Lincoln?
I use the in-game speakers, the headset speakers for Rift S, because these earbuds that I'm wearing right now, I started out wearing that, but there were some what's the word I'm looking for? Beings that when they spoke, it was like loud, rough, and I couldn't make out what they were saying, and I didn't have the subtitles turned on, so I took these out so I could hear, the dialogue a little bit more.
Yeah,
clearly.
man.
But the game sounds amazing, though.
So I think what we're gonna do, if anyone doesn't.
Oh, I also added that to the mix.
Oh, nice.
So this on your back, so the sound is rumbling through your body.
Yeah, that sounds wicked. It looks wicked.
That adds a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. He said he bet it costs a bit.
This, the sub packs, those cost. So that's a like a tactile subwoofer. In case anybody's wondering what this thing is. Yeah, basically this sends the low rumble bass sounds all the way through you.
I'd love to try it. I haven't tried one before. I would love to.
I'd love to try that too, but I'd have to wait, until this situation clears up around the world.
Mate. Yeah.
But and I mean, if you listen to the soundtrack of this game, it is filled with loads of really bassy sounds.
Right.
There is tons of moments in this game, like I'm not going to say yet because it's too early. There's so many parts where they match the sound to enemies coming in, that we're used to in set pieces. They also do like nice little ramp ups of things, and then background sounds. And there's a lot of deep rumbling sounds in this game, so it really does.
Well, it's the environmental sound as well. The
Yeah,
environmental sound is insane.
yeah. Though strangely enough, one of the things I noticed from my grab every object that I can and play with every object and try and do things is that unfortunately there are sounds that I find are missing. So
Well-
you have objects that if you pick them up and throw them, I would expect to hear some form of sound,
Yeah.
but the sound is missing.
No, you are right. Actually, there was something I dropped, and it just went, and I was like, I was
Cans.
expecting. Cans have no noise.
Cans don't make the noise that
Oh,
you
really?
expect.
I didn't know that.
Well,
No, they
I
don't
didn't
make
pick up any cans. I mean, because I
Yeah.
was like, after a while, it took a while for me to figure out that there's a lot of stuff laying around that doesn't really do you any good. It's just there to play around with.
Yeah.
So I
Same.
was only grabbing stuff that I found to be essential.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
couldn't help it. I grab everything in all the environments, trying to move them out of the way to see if something else, or
Yeah.
and then I end up going, "Oh bloody can, get out of the way," and all this sort of stuff. So
That's what I was going to say. You know, when we were talking about facts about Half-Life. This is what I found earlier. There's that Half-Life Alyx is now number 2 on Metacritic for the games released across all platforms in 2020 so far.
Yeah, because there's no bad reviews.
That's not VR games. That's every single game. So below it is Animal Crossing. Below that is Ori, Will of the Wisps, and below that is Doom Eternal. So Half-Life is standing.
Yeah, I haven't seen a bad review. All I've seen are 10 out of 10s or 9s out of 10s.
Yeah, when I took a look at Twitch, I think at one time there was like, when I tuned into Twitch, I think there was like about 100,000 live viewers. And then the lead stream had, I think the lead stream had like 25,000 viewers. So
that's awesome.
And then I read an article the next day that said it beat out like Fortnite and Warzone for the most concurrent viewers, and I think it had like at one point 300,000.
Dude, people have been waiting a long time for this. You know what I mean? They've been waiting a
Wow.
long time for it. And
people have.
There was this thing the other day, and it just come up on Twitter, basically saying something like Half-Life Alyx had to be good or VR was dead. I don't know if you guys saw that. I just did.
Yeah,
I saw the headline for that, but I didn't like. I'm like, I just turned the page because if I read it, I was going to end up getting upset.
I read it. I read some of it. I actually said in my quote I wasn't gonna, but like curiosity got me better 8 hours later, and it wasn't as bad as that. Do you know what I mean? But they went for the jugular to get people's attention. But in the end of the day, it was bollocks, pretty much.
I felt like that title was clickbait.
It was. It was.
Yeah, that's a clickbait.
It's unfounded crap at the end of the day. I don't think Valve would invest in the platform the way they did if they didn't believe in it. You know.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? Valve do invest in it. So.
Even if Half-Life wouldn't have lived up to the hype, there's still so many more games coming out that can still help boost VR. You know, with Medal of Honor, the Lone Echo 2. You know, and then I think, and I've talked about this on many of occasions, that I think when some of these multiplayer games such as Pavlov and contractors make it to the Quest, we're going to see a new wave of VR adopters, because I know there's so many people out there that would love to experience first-person shooters in VR without wanting to spend $1,000, $1,500 for a PC.
I think,
so
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on our horizon that VR is going to make it to the mainstream, whether these journalists want to admit it or not.
I think Pavlov on the Quest is going to be a big one as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
the one thing I will say is, and obviously we'll get into this a lot more with the spoilers, but you know that Valve have absolute faith in this platform, the VR platform, for the very simple reason of where this story ends up.
Yeah,
they make massive leaps of faith on this, and like I say, when we get to the spoilers, we can talk about it. But they've made a massive leap of faith at the end of this game. that could have either blown up in their face, but every person I know that's got to the end of this game has literally had their jaw drop to the floor.
We are
especially if you played the Half-Life 2.
Absolutely. So, Diz the Game Cat, he's asked, does Lone Echo ever go on sale, and should I buy it full price? Lincoln?
Not really.
Yeah,
I think
I purchased it.
Lone Echo is a great game, but I can tell you it's probably not going to go on sale because that's just the way Oculus operates. Look at the Avengers game. I think the Marvel Powers United game or something like that. That game is almost 3 years old and it does not go on sale.
No, Lone Echo did go on sale because I purchased it while it was on sale.
If it does, it might only be like 20% off or something like that.
It wasn't a lot.
I think Oculus has some amazing exclusives.
They do rotation.
Black but Friday. I find Oculus to be stingy at times.
It was Black Friday. I purchased it. So
yeah, that's one of the ideal times to purchase. If they're going to put something of theirs on sale, that's around the time that they will do it.
Let's put it the other way.
Answer that question, but if they if you're into sci-fi, then I think it's worth it.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah,
it's a must-play game.
Whatever the price is, obviously that sounds ridiculous, but whatever if it's about £40 or something.
Nice, 30.
And not only that, before Half-Life Alyx came about, I felt like Lone Echo was the best looking VR game out there.
I would not disagree with that. Yeah, Lone Echo's amazing. Tim the Nerd TV, how you doing, guy? Thank you for joining us over on Twitch. So, guys, you got cold yogurt, no spoilers. We are going to enter a spoiler section of the Half-Life Alyx discussion. There's a lot we'd like to talk about. I haven't got a picture to put up, no. There's nothing.
I have not finished this game, so you guys might end up saying something that
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But no, it's okay.
Are you sure you don't want to leave?
I'm positive about this because this game is so amazing that even if I knew what the outcome of the game is, I would still want to finish it. I have no idea what the ending of this game is, but it's so amazing that I feel like Valve would be absolutely stupid if they don't capitalize on this game. Whenever Half-Life 3 comes out, I think they should make it something like a Resident Evil, where you have the option of playing the entire game in VR or flat screen.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
All right, a lot of people are leaving, so yeah, let's give it about a minute. Like I say again, to let everybody know, we understand you're leaving. Obviously, if you're going to play the game later, you can always come back to the stream because obviously it'll be on GT's channel and you can watch this bit. But we are now gonna in about a minute start with a spoiler chat. So
I think
if you haven't stuck with it.
Yeah, to answer one of the questions, I don't think we're going to do much after the spoiler time because that will
the stream will be done. Yeah,
the show will be done.
So if you are if you have played the game all the way through and you want to vent some stuff or discuss some stuff in chat, then please do so. If you don't want these things spoiled, please vacate. We understand. Yeah,
absolutely. Derivative says, let the spoilage begin. That's it. If you have completed this game, it's going to be nice to hear your thoughts and our thoughts, and and see what you think about. Because literally, what Nat was just saying then is it's not. I haven't got to talk about it to anyone personally, especially what's going on in the world. It's like
it's been eating me alive. It honestly has been eating.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh God, yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for enjoying the show. Thank you.
Right, so I think that's enough time.
All right, guys, we're going to enter spoilers.
So we're entering spoilers. What do we talk about first, the ending or the level?
Jeff,
the level. What a level. That is one of the greatest levels I have ever
He's hit the ground running.
It is one of the greatest levels I have ever played in an FPS game. It is that good. It is that intelligent. It is that clever. I was put through the ringer through Jeff. I was scared. I was terrified. I was angry. I was frustrated. Literally put me through the ringer. But at the end of it, I loved it.
Yeah. I can't disagree with any of that. The other thing, of course, other spoiler alert, if you haven't done it, or if you have, you can actually kill Jeff.
Yeah, and I didn't know you could. I didn't know it was a choice. Like I thought everyone would. I guess it is a choice. Thinking back to it, but I thought.
Did you kill him?
Of course I did. The guy was trying to murder me for, mate. He tried. Who doesn't want to kill someone who's trying to kill them?
I didn't kill Jeff.
Come on.
I didn't kill Jeff. I just viewed that what happened was, he's misunderstood. When he came up to you and puked all the red stuff over your head and killed you, it was his way of saying hello.
I never actually.
His way of saying I love you, really.
I never got killed by Jeff that way. I fell off the platform. That's the only time I died in the Jeff. Don't get me wrong. There was loads of times that I didn't. Also, I didn't know that you could get a face mask and actually just walk through.
Oh yeah,
I had to play again. What an amazing mechanic!
Good mechanic.
Put you actually having to put your hand again. How do you do that in a non-VR game?
Yeah,
it doesn't work, and it was such a clever mechanic. And there was times where I was literally had Jeff right in front of me because obviously he puts out spores as well.
Oh
and you're just like, please fuck off, Jeff. Go.
You're standing right by the side of.
Are you at this point, Lincoln?
No, but I am. What's the word? I am aware of him, so to speak, because when I was doing the stream, that came in there and said that GT met Jeff and they didn't get along. And I'm like, huh? And I thought he was talking about a real person. I'm like, who's Jeff and what did he do to GT?
I'll tell you what he tried to do. He tried to kill me a lot.
So when he said the game, I'm thinking, when he said the game, I'm thinking either that something happened in the game that like totally shocked you or scared the hell out of you.
Yeah, if you haven't met Jeff yet, anybody who hasn't met Jeff yet, which it sounds like you haven't, he's definitely one of the stars of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally puts you through an absolute.
Well, hold on. So that means Lincoln doesn't know if he's a man or a beast.
No.
Or you don't know what Jeff.
I mean, since we're talking about spoilers, where I'm at is when I had to drop down into the basement of the North Star Hotel, and there was a couple of lightning dogs running around.
Mm-hmm. They are amazing. The lightning dogs. So you've had them.
Those things are a damn pest. And please excuse my language because it's like once you see one of those lightning dogs, you got to stay on top of him because if he gets away, then it's like you're not going to find him again until he attacks you.
Wasn't the lightning dog so brilliant that you actually know when you're close to killing it because it acts injured, it starts limping, it can't scatter away that quickly.
You have to put that dog down.
That, like I put it this way, I knew he was dead when he stopped moving and there was no more lightning coming out of him. That's when I knew he was dead. That's when I stopped shooting.
Oh, you make me want to play the game again. Oh.
Well, I've got achievements that I want to get for that because this is one of those games where I'm going back and saying, I want those achievements. I want to do that. How did I miss that?
That bit where Lincoln is at the moment, is that the bit where you said that you thought you'd come across a bug?
3.
And I sent you a message saying, you only need 2. Just use your
creative.
Be creative.
I thought there was 3 because there is a dialogue queue that says, I think I missed the 3rd one. Like you say, they move so fast that there is a dialogue queue that says, I think they're, the 3rd dog, or I missed one, or something else like that. So I thought that I had actually done one of the bugs where you accidentally get something to go and clip through scenery, because I have had that happen. I have managed to have things bug out and end up in walls.
Okay.
Derivatives actually just put a thing. He's going about, does the lightning dog rejuvenate if they go into another body?
Yes, they do.
They don't rejuvenate, but they do get a new body, but and you have to take that one down. But it doesn't rejuvenate its health or anything like that. So if you were like 3 shots from taking its health down on the first body, once it comes out the second body, it's still 3 shots from taking it down. So
and I was going to say that even if he could rejuvenate, I didn't give him a chance because I stayed on top of him. Because, like I said, once you lose him, it's probably one of the most fun headaches you'll have to deal with. It was fun, but it was a headache having to deal with him because you got to stay on top of him and do not let him like run under shelves and that kind of stuff.
When you guys first come across Lightning Dog, so Lincoln, you've seen the Lightning Dog reanimate a zombie.
Yeah.
That didn't happen the first time I fought one. Is that the same for everyone?
Did you blow it up? Did you blow it up too early or something?
No, I don't know. But basically, I fought a Lightning Dog. Yeah, like just standard. Imagine it never going into a body.
Okay, the first Lightning Dog that I encountered, there was no zombie because it was in that laundry room.
Right, that's what I was asking.
There was no zombie. I don't think there was a dead zombie in there. The second time I ran across him,
the one on the chair. He was like on the chair, and he enters through the chest.
I think the Lightning Dog was behind a gate. He was like locked into a gate.
That's it. That's cool. I didn't know whether something different had happened because when that Lightning Dog went inside that zombie dude, I lost my shit. I was like, fucking hell, this is amazing. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, this is fantastic.
It looks amazing as well.
The effects of that lightning going through that entire body.
Yeah. Yeah. Superb, isn't it? It is so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
It really does set a standard. Like,
well, the new enemies in Half-Life Alyx, I couldn't complain about any of them. Lightning Dog, I thought, was a really intelligent, really tough battle. The new armored head crabs. You know, the first time you come across it, I literally emptied a clip in it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then suddenly you know, as it goes on its hind legs, you see the heart bumping. You're like, ah, crap! I've just wasted 10 bullets. And all to do was
I was doing that too, and then I ended up finding out the best way to deal with the that armored head crab was wait for him to lunge at me. Your timing's got to be right. But I catch him in midair and hold him out like this, and just shoot the belly.
Yeah, I've got another way of dealing with them. If you got a shotgun and they're still on the zombie, you make sure and just get the shotgun right in straight under the chin. Boom.
Oh.
So you blow the head off the zombie and kill the crab at the same time.
Superb.
And also the heavy combines as well.
As the game progressed, those head crabs got more and more pesky because at the beginning of the game, if you killed the head crab, you would kill the zombie and the head crab. But as you progress in the game,
some of it is sort of like they're alive still as well.
Yeah.
Didn't you think the actual audio cues that you had it like obviously we saw a couple of new combines, and the major one, the one that has the heavy gun, there was so many audio cues, like you knew when you were safe to move. Like that was never a point where I was like, oh, you know, I thought I was unfair. Like I say, the run section that we were talking about, the only time that I was I would have been like, I thought, oh, the run button would be so nice now was with the Stalker. The Stalker fight.
Oh yeah, the Stalker fight. I did end up teleporting a couple of times during that one. But I think
listen,
the one that got me.
You go on.
Was the ants. I had to use the teleport.
I'm like, what do
you call it? You know, the big ant. What are they called?
Ant lions.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, ant lions. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes, absolutely. Sorry.
I actually ran out of ammo as I came right near the start of the ant lion part, where you've got Combine up high shooting you, and you've got the ant lions on the ground storming to get at you.
Yeah.
And I ran out of all ammo.
Really? I thought you checked everything, man.
It's weird. Do you know what?
Yeah.
If it had a run button, if that game had a run button, I wouldn't use teleport, honestly. But I found it
No,
personally.
same
How can I say it? Like, think of Space Junkies in my mind. Yeah, there's not many games for me in VR that play as fast as a traditional first-person shooter. Now, I want that.
No.
I want a competitive, fast. Go as fast as you like. I just want to play it fast. I want to be able to think what's going to happen, and I can make it happen. And in Half-Life, there was sections where I wanted to. I guess if I had a big space, I could probably dive. If it was wireless, I could probably move. But it was like I'm trying to move, and I'm sort of leaning that way, like, come on, move quick. And I'm leaning, and I'm not going any quicker. And it's like, oh god, I'm getting shot, and it's really annoying. When all I wanted to do was run behind cover.
Now, apparently, you can actually change. With this being Valve, they've done some really weird things here. You can actually change the run speed in game, or your top speed in game,
Yeah.
by changing a speed value in the Steam VR interface.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either, because it's not exactly in the menus. It's not in the menus. It's in the Steam VR menus.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that personally.
And I was like, okay, that's really odd.
Agreed.
But I only heard that like this morning, so I haven't fully investigated that.
Well, the one thing that I didn't realise until I was watching GT's live stream, I can't remember which one, I think it was the second one, and someone pointed out to him that to store stuff, you had storage containers in both wrists. I only thought you had one in one wrist, and I just kept putting it in one wrist. And then I was watching GT's stream, and someone pointed out to him that, oh, you've got why aren't you putting anything in your left hand?
Oh, you mean the wrist pockets?
Yeah, the wrist pockets.
What I was finding out about the wrist pocket is it would only hold one item, at least for me. So
yeah.
No, it's one a wrist.
One item per wrist.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was only holding one item. Total.
I was the same as you then. First of all, I only thought it was my my dominant hand that you could have one in. But
yeah, I found that out as well. Someone in the chat let me know as well. So
I just discovered it at one point and went, oh, by accident, because I accidentally dropped something, and my hand was there, and it just went shudum. And
nice.
Oh, it does it in that sound as well. Okay, cool.
I found it. I had to keep I decided to keep a syringe in each pocket. At first, I was keeping that canister that had the snail in there, but there's not too many of those stations.
The what?
Throughout
yeah. The snail.
To revive your health.
Yeah.
So that syringe is on the go. So that syringe, even though it only gave you back one heart, I found it to be very valuable.
Yeah, I was syringing, man.
Not only that, the game gives you just enough ammo that you have to use it sparingly, and you have to be accurate. If you waste it, you're gonna be in trouble.
It's true.
I got to a situation where I found myself trying to avoid fighting the head crabs. I was trying to run through there without fighting them.
Without running.
I just want to go back to
trying to quickly walk.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the Jeff level, because I already know what GT's reaction was, because I watched that live, but I don't know what Salsa's was. And the bit I want to know is, after you locked Jeff away, and then you realised you had to let him out, what was your reaction? Because my reaction was just like, no effing way, you got to be kidding me, which is pretty much what GT was.
It's a clever bit, isn't it?
It was
really?
brilliant.
It's like, you've caught him, you've trapped him, yes. And it's like, but now you've got to let him out again. And you're like...
Yeah, well, my problem was, first of all, see, the reason I got killed by Jeff a couple of times was I thought, well, he reacts well to the bottle being thrown. I thought, you know where you're winding that thing up? I didn't clock the storage area.
No, I didn't.
So I was trying to wind up and throw a bottle over the top of Jeff at the same time. And that didn't work, unfortunately.
No.
So until I found that out, I was like, I was biting at the chomp at this point.
Chomping at the bit, yeah.
Chomping at the bit. Biting at the trumpet at the bit. Yeah, you're quite right. I've reversed that. Nice one.
You did reverse it. Yeah, I was thinking. I've never read that before.
That's classic. That is classic dyslexic behavior.
Biting at the chomp.
So can somebody answer a question for me? So based
Yeah,
on
sure.
where I'm at, how long will it be before I run into this Jeff character?
Where are you again? Sorry.
He's still in the Northern Star. I would say he's about somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the basement of the Northern Star where there's a couple of lightning dogs, jumping into these zombies.
Dude, you need to get there. You need to get. That is, apart from the ending and other bits, Jeff is one of the real highlights of the game.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But to go back and answer Nat's question properly, I was like, really? I think that was kind of my take on it. I was literally like standing there, got the thing open, and then it's gone. Where the hell's this go? Where does this go? Because really?
Yeah.
Okay, but then it gets worse when you get to the elevator.
Oh, yeah, you're in the elevator with him, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get to that lift and you're like,
yeah, that was
that
mental.
door is going to go up before the whole thing goes down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you sort of like do that and you bolt for the corner because you know it's making noise. And then in storms Jeff by that thing, doing the whole thing, and you're like, why isn't the lift going? Oh, bugger, the button's by Jeff.
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. I think you're in for such a treat, Link. I what's the word? I envy anyone who hasn't played this. I really do.
I would have had the game finished by now if it weren't for two things. Like I said, one, that update that caused the game to get stuck on me. Like when you first try to load your most recent chapter.
Was that a common issue? Is it anyone else? Was it widely reported or?
Well, I tried to find out, because I tried to go to like the discussion page on Steam. I tried to go on the Reddit. Nobody was really talking about it, so I thought maybe it was something that was just happening to me. But then, when an update came out, a couple of days later, that appeared to fix the problem. I guess maybe I wasn't the only one having that problem. And then the other thing that set me back, because that situation right there set me back a couple of days. And then the other thing that set me back was by the time that issue got resolved, I got called back to work because I was originally supposed to be off for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come they called you back to work though? When you said you was off 3 weeks, do you mean like you was on holiday for 3 weeks?
No, we're on shutdown.
So how come you got?
Because the companies that we supply products to, they're considered essentials. Therefore, we are essential because
you're a key worker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So,
yeah.
So I was called back to work, and they're scanning people every morning. Like put a thermometer, beep, scan your head as soon as you come in.
Have you got protective clothing and breathing and?
What's that?
Have you got protective clothing and breathing apparatus and stuff, or what's the?
No, I just been living life as normal.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't gone out of my way to go next to anyone that's been coughing their lungs out. But other than that, I've been going about my normal day, my normal life.
Right. Yeah. Some people are not exactly going out a lot anyway. So some people said it's not much different.
No, so for us people that play video games, this stay-at-home order doesn't really affect us anyway, because that's kind of what we do anyway.
I've seen so many memes like that, honestly, so many, where everyone's panicking about staying in, but gamers are like,
crazy. My only problem is obviously I've got the work computer is right there next to the gaming computer, which is both a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because I still have to work.
Are you at home now? Are you isolated now? Are you in isolation now, South?
Yeah, we are.
I would rather be. I'd rather be isolated, but I can't be. So, I think that'd be the safest place to be at the moment. Because the last thing I want to do is go out to work and come back with it, not know about it, and then give it to my family. That's what I don't want to happen. Same as everyone.
Agreed. You know, I live by myself, and I've been letting my son stay home for the last couple of weeks. So
it is just you that could be at fault. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. So, Lincoln, are we allowed to talk about the ending of the game?
What's that?
Do you mind if we talk about the end, a part of it, like some of the? There's only really one bit of the ending I want to talk about.
Sure, because I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret.
Oh.
I had played when I played Lone Echo. I think I got through about maybe 75% of the game, and I got stuck. It just did not know how to move forward, so I cheated. I went to YouTube and found a walkthrough video to find out what I needed to do to get past it, and I ended up watching the rest of the game. And then I had, and then I found out that I was close enough to the ending that I felt it wasn't even worth playing after watching that video. This
one is worth playing, man.
Oh, it's worth playing.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if I get stuck on Half-Life Alyx, depending on how bad of a situation it is, I could find myself going to YouTube to find out how to get out of it.
No, it's not. I don't think Half-Life Alyx as a game ongoing through has too many parts apart from me stupidly thinking that I actually put a grenade through a wall. Has that issue, and you just want to see this for yourself, dude.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, the issues that I've had where I've got stuck and maybe been mucking around for 15, 20 minutes and suddenly realised, oh, this is the solution. So it's never been a case of, oh, Valve, you sons of bitches. I've always gone, oh, you are such a twat.
Do you know what
How did you miss it?
Do you know what I got stuck on longest? It was a stupid bit. It was when one of the crank handles is on a bit of rebar. You just got to pull it off. For some reason, my brain would not let me do it.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
That was
PD has just come in.
P of the D.
I don't know if you've seen the end.
Yeah, he's done it.
Spoilers section.
Yeah,
right.
he's.
So let's talk
done it?
a little bit further going into the ending. So obviously, before you get to the ending, you overhear a conversation with, I can't remember what the girl's name is in Half-Life 2, the doctor who is part of the Combine, but then she joins the Resistance type thing. It's obviously her, and everything is based because obviously the vault is turned out to be...
Wait, stop.
Wait.
Yeah, we're doing spoilers, man. We're talking spoilers of the show.
Spoilers.
I'm about to. I'm about to.
Want you to.
I'm about to sort that out. Hold on. Let me just get this in the middle of the.
I will ask for permission to grab while you guys get ready to talk about that. I will ask for permission to go grab a quick drink.
Yeah, go, man.
Quick, because you guys will see me in the background in the refrigerator.
Right.
I'm just gonna get a sign
go ahead
up.
And proceed.
How's it?
Chapter 7. Is Chapter 7 the level?
I don't know.
I can't remember because they have individual names, don't they?
Yeah, I can't remember which.
Because you have is Revelations the last one?
No, the last one is Unforeseen Circumstances.
Okay.
It's weird how some people, like earlier in the chat, are happy to wait it out, make it last and stuff, because I am actually quite the opposite. I get so obsessed with thinking about the game that I kind of have to do it.
He's by
he's literally approaching. Yeah, he's approaching the level. So
he's approaching Jeff, if he's at the
looks like we've also got Hussein X join us. So Hussein X, we're just letting you know we are talking spoilers of Half-Life Alyx. So if you want
gentlemen. Nothing like
if you want to leave, we completely understand. A lot of people have left.
If you give me 30 seconds,
spoilers.
I will actually get a little picture in the middle over the VR link.
Yeah,
to do that.
Because we don't want to you join in and then immediately come in and go, oh, well, they just wrecked the game for me.
Yeah, that'd be poo. That would be mega poo.
It's all spoilers from here on out.
Yeah, to the end of the show. We just email that across.
All spoilers to the end of the show, dude. And we have already talked past the point that you're at.
Yeah.
Can you wave
So
when
don't
it's safe?
want to.
Oh dear. Oh man. Yeah, it's going to be to the end of the show now because it's getting late as well. So that's there. Let me just chuck that on that there. Oh no, don't put it there. Hold on. Sorry about this, guys.
No, that's all right.
What's it doing? Why is it doing that? Okay, weird. Hold on. Something's happened and I can't bloody move it. Typical. Right, here we go. Just get this up in the middle. Desktop. VR link. Put it in there. Yeah. Go across here. Screenshots. I can't see it.
Paradise says he's gonna go grab a bowl of Rice Krispies.
Yeah, I watched a bit of Paradise Decay's
Rice
Let's Play.
Krispies
Like I
are
say,
so good.
I didn't watch anybody's Let's Play that had got further than me. I only went back.
No,
to
that's
people.
right. The amount of
Yeah.
people who jumped in the chat, in the streams, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't watch. I don't want to ruin it," and saying sorry, and I'm like, "No sorries are needed." Like, it's one of
Yeah.
the biggest games ever. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully, bang in the middle of the screen is Half-Life. Oh my god, I fucking spelled Half-Life bloody Alex twice. Look, it's copied over.
Don't worry, I think they
Half
know.
Alex.
Yeah,
Spoiler discussion.
I don't know how that happened.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Don't
That's
worry.
good. That's
So yeah, honest. So Nat, you were saying, dude.
I was saying, so the section before we get right to the end. So obviously we know now that the vault, the place that we're trying to go to, isn't actually housing a weapon, which is what the resistance initially thought. It's actually a prison. And then you get the doctor with where you overhear a conversation, and Black Mesa is mentioned, and literally everything around suddenly is, oh my god, they've got Gordon Freeman in there.
Yeah.
I brought into that. I was just like, oh my god. You
I
know,
semi-did.
I brought it. Well, I like I say, I've never finished Half-Life. I've never played Half-Life. I've played a bit of Half-Life at the beginning. I never got to the end of it. So I just brought in that. Okay, it is Gordon Freeman in there. But when you finally get up to there and you walk, as soon as I saw the silhouette, I didn't even need to see the thing. As soon as I saw the silhouette, I was like, "That's not Freeman. That's
Yeah.
G-Man."
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
It's like you doing the whole bit of freeing them, and it's sort of like as you break the prison, and it's like
No, it's even before that. When you
I
look
know
in,
you can see
him.
the silhouette, but I know it. But you know that Alyx doesn't know it because she doesn't know what Freeman looks like.
No, exactly.
I just think like the bit when he gives you the explanation of him being a being that can alter reality. There was a bit when he phased into black and white and then come back. Oh mate, it
yeah.
gave me goosebumps, dude. Like
Which one is
proper
doing
goosebumps.
Yeah, the thing around you and the sound of the disappearing.
That's the bit. That's the thing.
And coming in with the eyes.
Who was it in the chat earlier? They've probably gone now, but it's Artful, and he was saying this is a 9 out of 10 for me. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. And I was actually exactly the same. When I saw IGN's 10 out of 10, I was like, no, not for a VR game. And that was purely because of the movement, or the lack of movement. You know, the click turning. But when the smooth turn was in there and to completion, I was like, this is the best game I've ever played in virtual reality. Literally.
I'm not quite at that point.
I was.
Like I say,
it won me over.
I'm still at a 9 out of 10. But
yeah,
for me, it's the best. It's the best Half-Life game. I haven't played the first one, but I think this is a better game overall than Half-Life 2.
So what is? Let's say at the moment with what you've played,
if
where is it in your top 3 or top 5?
Lincoln VR games.
Yeah, go Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you put this so far?
I'm hesitating because if I say this, that it's the best VR game that I ever played, I sound like a bandwagoner, and I sound like I'm
And I
riding
would,
the wave.
yeah,
But
same. I was worried
it
about that.
is.
Yeah,
But it is.
Yeah,
It
man.
is the best VR game that I've ever played.
yeah,
I think it. It has the physics of a little bit of physics of Boneworks. It has a great story. It is definitely has the best graphics that I've ever seen. So I mean, I don't give anything a perfect 10, but I would give it like a 9.5.
I don't think it needs to be a 10 out of 10
If I was to,
game. I
yeah,
don't
if
think.
I was to do a percentage base, a 100 mark, it would be that 98, 99.
Yeah, same. I'd give it like between
Mhm.
96, 98 or whatever. I can see why IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't actually
Yeah.
disagree. Like I'd go like fair enough. It's a bloody amazing game. I'm still as you said, talking about perfect games, and I think Nat was saying it earlier. Once one day you marry up the Boneworks physics with like the story and graphics of Half-Life, when you get to that game one day, and it's like body tracked, and you're on an Omni treadmill and all that, like that's what I'm trying to say. This game is that line for me where I'm like, right, we've just transitioned, we've just seen
Well,
where
the thing
VR's
is,
going.
I don't think there is such a thing. And again, I gave an example yesterday. I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect game, even a 10 out of 10 game. So, like one of the best games I've ever played is The Last of Us.
Yes.
And I would say that is a 10 out of 10 game. What I base the 10 out of 10 game out of is, was there anything else that the developer could have done at that time to improve the game at that time? With The Last of Us, there was nothing they could do to improve the game at that time on a PS3. They needed PS4 to take it to the next level. Same with God of War. The reason I don't give Half-Life Alyx a 10 out of 10, and don't get me wrong, it is the best VR game I have ever played by a country mile. There is nothing, and I mean nothing. I'm the biggest fan of Resident Evil 7. This puts Resident Evil 7 to shame.
Yeah, it does.
There is nothing like this game. However, the reason I won't give it a 10 out of 10 is there anything now that the developers could have done to improve the game? And yes, there is. There's only small little bits in it that I would say that they could, like the melee. That is something that could have been put in to the game. The run, I don't have an issue with. I think the game pacing is perfect. I have no issues with the levels. I think the levels were some of the best designed levels I've ever seen. And the story, I've noticed somebody in the chat put the story is definitely a 10 out of 10. The story,
so
I would
important.
I would have put 9 out of 10 until we got to the very last bit. And that last bit, if I could give a game an 11 out of 10, I would. Because that last bit just took it over. That was the tipping point, yeah.
That is the tipping point.
Mate,
especially if you've played Half-Life 1, and if you've played Half-Life 2 to completion.
Yeah, you have to, and episode 2.
It honestly, it's funny you bring up Resident Evil 7, because when I was saying about the line in the sand, and that's what it feels like to me, it feels like this is the change. This is the next generation almost. And it's hard to say that because obviously PC VR, especially along with the hardware, constantly evolves all the time. It doesn't sit still. It's not like you get like Resident Evil 7, even though it was out quite early in PSVR's life, it's still considered, if not the number one game still. Yeah, and technology-wise, not much has really smashed it. It's sort of like been to a certain level of graphics. I guess there's interactions and stuff. But when I said about this game, obviously some PS4 people were like, what, it's better than Astro? What, are you saying it's better than Resident Evil 7? And I'm like, yeah, it is. I don't see how it's not. Like, it's the best VR game I've played.
Yeah. I think there's only one, as it stands, there is only one VR game that I can give a 10 out of 10. It's not this game. It's not Half-Life. There is only one game that I've been able to give a 10 out of 10, and that was Wipeout.
Oh, right, okay.
and that was just because everything for Wipeout. It's like a bit like what Nate was saying.
It's perfect.
Is there anything else
what it
that
does.
you can do with that game?
It is the
No,
best
there
futuristic
isn't.
racer in virtuality. It still is.
There isn't. Whereas here, I can pick out a number of things. Like I said, there are sounds that are missing from certain objects that are physical objects in the world, that when you collide them together or things like that, that I expect to make some form of sound, and they don't. There are other things that could be added in those terms. There is the running. There is bits that need sorting out with the locomotion a little bit here and there, just small niggles.
The smooth turning changed it completely for me, to be fair. It went up 50%. That
added a great amount to what is needed.
Yeah.
But there are still other elements like, yes, the run is a thing for me because I don't want there to be a teleport version that is just that much faster. I want to be able to use that teleport more as a jump mechanic than a thing.
Yeah, I only used it as a jump mechanic, and also because I was getting bored towards the end of, like I say, climbing up the stairs because I was doing the proper motions. I was just like, I'm just gonna just press the button so I can zip up, and that's it. I used it for jump, and I used it for going up and down ladders. Apart from that, like the Jeff sequence, I played that completely walking around. I didn't use teleportation at all, because that sequence, because I was just walking around, was even more terrifying, because it was just like, even though I knew I could jump away, I didn't want that. I wanted to be terrified. I wanted to think that any second I could be ripped apart. Dark's putting it. He's not a fan of smooth turning.
I would speak to this in truth as well. It's a case of there being the option for people.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of click turning, because out of click turning or smooth turning, click turning can make me go more funny now. Slow smooth turning will make me go funny if you hit a certain RPM, if you like. If it's slow smooth turning, it can make me go funny. If it goes past a certain speed, then I'm okay. If it goes really, really fast, I don't care if I can take it for days.
I found it really strange. I think because I played like 4 hours of Half-Life Alyx with click turning, then I went into it with smooth turning. It was hard. It felt a bit like, whoa, this is too quick. Do you know what I mean? And but then after about 5 minutes, I was okay.
But then it's another case of
what's up, Lincoln?
If I had the
I was just gonna say, like, click turning, I'm fine with it, but when you run across a part of the game where there's a lot of action going on and you click turning all over the place, it's easy to lose awareness of your surroundings.
Yeah, that's what I found, dude.
Yeah, but you do also have to remember, sometimes when we're streaming, we get so used to facing one direction and one direction only.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're used to room scale, if you have the luxury of the amount of room to be able to do it, then you would naturally get to a state where you will be turning your physical body rather than using a stick anyway.
See, I actually don't like that though. Like, it's weird. How can I make this sound? Location-based VR, I'm perfectly fine with, because you physically walk. You walk and you turn and shoot. If I'm standing in a spot, walking and turning my body, just going round and round, left and right, makes me feel ill. Not sick, but I don't feel right. It's weird. I can play a game like this at an FPS, like playing Call of Duty Warzone. I can play it facing this way. I don't need to spin around. I'm just playing it. It's absolutely fine, but I've got a headset on. That's why it doesn't bother me.
And I found myself moving all over the room, because I started out in one area, but one of the things that made me like end up moving all over the room is when the head crabs lunge at you.
Yeah,
I was trying to, sidestep them, and they fly right past you. Rather than click turn to face them, I just turned around naturally. to try to shoot them before they try to come at me again. Next thing you know, I fell over the side of the other sofa that I have in the living room. And there was another.
Was that live? Was that live?
No.
Oh,
thank
I love
goodness.
that.
And then there was another time where I smacked the wall with my hand and didn't know that I wound up over there because everything happened so fast that by the time the Guardian showed up, I had already smacked the wall.
Yeah.
I played the game entirely sitting down.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's valid. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's got the options built in there to do that, and I think that's a part of the whole thing. That all these games, different people go through them in different ways.
Yeah.
So it's the options of where something doesn't have the options.
Yeah.
And they have catered a lot, but there's still a couple of more things to go.
Shall we talk about the end now?
Does anyone know? You know,
bits.
just to rattle your brains.
Yeah.
You know when Boneworks come out on Oculus after it come out, would it be free? Is it? You'd have to pay for it, wouldn't you? It wouldn't be a case of I've got it because they're separate stores, aren't they? Completely.
Yes, they're separate stores.
Yeah. So if you wanted it on Oculus, but you'd already bought it on Steam, you'd have to buy it on Oculus. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, Paradise. We already mentioned that, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. I knew I'd read somewhere something earlier today about that.
If I knew Boneworks was going to come to the Oculus store, I would have bought it there because that would have been just one less app that I would have had to open on my PC.
What do you mean? What?
Because like some games on Steam, you have to launch it through Steam. Like especially like with the sim racers, like Project Cars 2. If you want to play, I bought it on Steam, so you have to launch it on Steam.
Yeah,
it gives you a choice of which way you want to play it.
I always go into Oculus Home and then I start Steam VR and then I start a Steam game.
Yeah, but you still have two levels of stuff happening. So if your computer is not quite as robust, you've got two things open.
Right.
So you've got extra load on the CPU.
Oh, I'm not.
Exactly.
Sorry,
because
I've never really noticed.
You've got Oculus and Steam VR working at the same time, and then if I'm trying to stream it, I've got OBS open, and then if I'm trying to pop out the chat, now I got the web browser open.
Yeah. Skippy
so I'm
says
to find out now that if I can help it, I would like you can get games dirt cheap off of G2A stuff like that off of Steam, but for that purpose, it would probably be better to buy it off of Oculus because, like we were just saying, that's just one less app that'll be open and less load on the PC.
That's interesting, isn't it? Skippy VR says virtual desktop lets you launch Steam without needing Oculus.
If you so on our side, I imagine with Quest, if you use virtual desktop on Quest to play your VR games, then you can have Steam open, and you only need Steam in that way.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to have the Oculus drivers available, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't tried that. But let's get back to the spoilers.
Yes, let's continue.
Ending.
So, obviously, G-Man offers Alyx a nudge. Says, for freeing him, I can nudge something for you. And she turns around and says, I want the Combine off Earth. And he's like, no, that's a big nudge. Too big a nudge.
Yeah.
My employers are not going to like that. But what if I offer you something you don't even know you want? And the bit where you grab the briefcase and the next second, and this is why I say everyone should play Half-Life 2, especially Episode 2, it takes you to the very end of Half-Life Episode 2 with Alyx crying over Eli Vance, who has now been dead, which added something to the bit at the beginning. Because I thought it was really weird. The very first bit that it gives you, this is 5 years before the fall of the Citadel and the death of Eli Vance, which I thought was a really weird thing to say right at the beginning of the game.
At the beginning of the game, why would you say something like that?
Yeah, it did. I didn't make any sense. I was just like, okay, well, yeah, Eli Vance dies at the end of Half-Life 2, so fair enough. But until that bit, and I was just, I was open mouthed. You can actually hear it on my stream. I do not talk. I literally shut up because literally I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I really haven't. So I don't
But
know what your
what
reactions were, guys.
I mean, that's one of the shockers.
Hmm.
Now the next thing is any deal the G-Man does has consequences.
Well,
Has
altering
an
time is gonna.
An untold price.
No, unforeseen consequences.
Unforeseen consequences. The unforeseen consequences, of course, the true part of that ending. What happens to Alyx after
She
her
saves Daddy.
dad's been saved?
Yeah.
She changes
That's-
time. She
Yeah,
changes. She changes the end of Half-Life Episode 2. She kills the.
That's
I
crazy.
can't remember what the guy's name.
Yeah, I know you're on about. Yeah.
By the way, it was awesome seeing Gordon Freeman, by the way, in there. So.
Yeah. But the thing is, they say that the G-Man is talking about Gordon Freeman not being the person they need him to be
At that time.
at that time.
Well, they're saying he's going against their plans. He's not cooperative. That was their issue with him.
But here's the nudge. Alyx looks like she'll be great as Freeman.
Hey?
No, she doesn't
Gordon
take
Freeman.
over. She doesn't take over as Gordon Freeman. She's put into the stasis that Gordon Freeman has been put in. He's going to use her.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sort of like, from the way I saw it, it was him going in there, and I'm like, boom, you've just got Freeman at the end. It's like they're going to put her in his role.
No, I didn't see that at all, because obviously you're talking about the sequence after the credits.
Yeah.
Where literally it's it comes up Half-Life Alyx, and then suddenly you hear Eli
Go
Vance
through all the credits, and then it's like,
and you see Dog.
And Eli Vance is like, Gordon, wake up. By the way, did any of you notice during that section? Did any of you look to your left when that section was going on? Just glance to your left.
Don't think so.
G-Man's up on the ramp.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you closely look to your left, G-Man is up on the scaffolding ramp thing as well.
Man, that is
but
cool.
yeah, Eli, obviously Dog comes down, and boy does Dog look amazing in this new engine. Oh
Yeah, he
my
does.
god, he looks
Yeah.
amazing. And he's got the iconic crowbar.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He hands you the crowbar at the end.
Yes, he hands it because
you're Gordon. Yeah, because
you're Gordon.
You're
Alex has disappeared. No, Alex disappeared. But Gordon was already there at that point. That's why the gloves are Gordon's. They're the EVA suit.
Yeah, but I'm sort of like, I'm wondering, are they going to do a mind switch through?
No. You're going to play as Gordon.
Okay.
So what we're saying is, though, there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
This is.
And have they already started making it?
They always do. No, they always do put a hint that there will be something else to come.
The thing with this is, I think Valve have actually said they wanted to make a challenge to the team. You don't make a bigger challenge, because the only place that this can go now, isn't Half-Life Alyx 2, it's Half-Life 3. This is the only place that the game can now go. So one of two things is going to happen if they go ahead, and it sounds like they're going to do it. Is Half-Life 3? Yeah, is Half-Life 3 going to be VR only? And I would have no issue with that. Or will they make it Half-Life 3, but also make a standard Half-Life 3 game?
But that is what this is about now, isn't it? In a way, this is a trial, I guess, to see how.
I think they're going to go the Resident Evil route, where you can choose to play the entire game VR or flat screen.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm not sure they would.
The thing is, they've got their own headset. They've got their own headset out there. Like,
it isn't just that. It's the game would have to change, because that's what we discussed when we said about the flat screen mod. The game would have to change if it can do flat screen and VR.
Yeah, but Resident Evil.
Yeah, but no, Resident Evil was something.
It was flat screen, and then
that
they
was
did
the old.
they added the VR. This line in the stand that you're talking about is how would you, after doing Half-Life Alyx, how would you do Half-Life 3
how would you bring
run on
something
both
new?
systems? Because you would lose the mood, you would lose so much.
Yeah.
Because you would have to build it. The only way I could see it happening is literally they build two separate games.
But
they
were
build
able
a
to
VR one
implement
and they build a normal one.
Half-Life as a game, and Gabe has said this himself, Half-Life is always about bringing something new.
Yeah, go on, Lincoln. Sorry, mate. What was you going to say?
No, I was going to ask the question, but in Resident Evil, didn't you have the choice to use the DualShock 4 or the Move controllers?
No.
Only DualShock
only.
Okay.
It was added to Resident Evil as, you know, they brought it along into it more as a thing to try out, really. Whereas this is built for VR. And this is the thing, past this point and what they've done with Half-Life Alyx and VR, there is no turning back to a flat screen for Valve.
I'd say the only way I see them actually doing it is they'd have to build two different games.
I think they're judging. I think they're going
to
look at the numbers. I think the numbers are going to dictate what happens next.
I don't think the numbers are going to dictate.
I don't think they give too. I don't think they give too much.
It'd be amazing. Do you know what? If they don't, that'd be amazing. But every other company would look at the money. Every other company would look at the numbers. If they don't, it's definitely going to be virtual reality. I really hope they don't. You know, because this is.
They're looking at the critical reception. That's what they've said. They said, look, numbers do matter, but we're not driven by the numbers. What they're more driven by is the critical reception. So that Metacritic score that you were talking about, GT, that's the important thing.
Point.
Do you know what I hate to say? And I hope no one. With this COVID-19 and coronavirus going on and stuff, it's even doing that well with that going on.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying about what I'm trying to say there? Where a lot of attention and a lot of maybe advertising, a lot of eyes are now all over the place because the world's all over the place. You know, as normally life's tickety-boo, everyone's happy, they're not stressed, and blah blah blah. And I think Half-Life would have got even more popularity maybe. But considering the popularity it's already got with the world in shambles at the moment, that's pretty incredible. I hope they take that on board as well, you know, because I think everyone's felt a difference in whatever they're doing because of this, because of COVID-19 and stuff. So it's weird, you know. One of the over here, like the week it come out was one of the worst weeks for this. You know, we got the lockdown involved, haven't we? We've got everything's changed in the country at exactly the same time. And I know it's only gaming, but gaming is a massive entertainment medium. You know, and with people not going to cinema because they're not allowed, and you know, not doing activities, you'd expect viewing numbers to go up, but you also know that viewing numbers are looking at the news. Viewing numbers are doing other things, you know, at the same time. There's a lot more going in the world at the moment, a lot more important stuff than entertainment. So for it to get the attention it's getting is fantastic. I just can't imagine what they've been like in the normal world.
But
it's funny that you mentioned the movie part of it too, because we can still be entertained through movies, through big screen, where we can still rent movies,
and we can all be together.
Mm-hmm.
We'll stand together.
But did any of you guys actually watch the IGN talk with Gabe?
Yes.
No,
I did not.
Yeah, you gotta watch that talk with Gabe, and then you'll totally get why I would say there's no turning back from the VR point for Half-Life as a series past Alyx.
Wow.
I don't see that at all. Half-Life has and always should be in Gabe's mind as something that brings something new to the table.
Derivative
If it's
says
not bringing something new, then it's not at it.
Derivative says he's watched that interview several times, so I definitely should watch it at least once.
Yeah, I made
Wow.
I took a note of Gabe Newell's email, because in that interview
Yeah,
he
he
actually
gives the-
he says he wants to hear from people. So I'm
Yeah.
most probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm most probably going to compose an email to Gabe Newell. Whether he
He's
reads it or
done
not,
it-
I don't know. But
He's done
he
it a
says he
number of
does.
times over the years where he puts out his email address that he does spend a considerable amount of time reading and responding to.
I bet the spam folder's bigger than the inbox.
I just want to say to Skippy, he's saying they're selling movies meant to be in theatres now since people can't go out. They're actually only doing movies that have actually been released, but because the theatre's closed, they've gone out, because there's a big hoo-ha in America at the moment because Universal want to release it's a crappy film. It's like Trolls World Tour or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And literally the like the head of like the theater owners has literally just turned around and said, you know, we theaters will never forget Universal doing this, putting this film on video on demand, because it's not going to be in theaters, obviously, and they will not forget this. And pretty much what a lot of people reckon is that the next Universal film that was meant to go on 3,000 screens will be going on like maybe 1,000. If they want it on their IMAX,
be concerned because
if I had a choice
between going to a theater to watch a new release or being able to watch it through big screen, the 3D version of the movie, I'll take the Quest every day of the week.
Yeah, but all you got to look is all the other studios, and this is why the thing was at Universal, because like Disney, you know, it's like, okay, Black Widow, we're going to push it back. This film, we're going to push it back. Warner Brothers, Wonder Woman 1984, we're pushing it back. Somebody said in the chat about 007, we're pushing it back. All the other companies have turned around and they've pushed their films back. It isn't really about Trolls World Tour specifically, because that film really ain't going to make a lot of money or anything like that. It's that studios have always gone to the theater owners and sort of like said, you know, we need your help. You know, we need your help. You know, so that theater owners, I think it's like a 60-40 split and something like that to the studios and stuff like that, when it used to be like a 50-50 split and stuff.
Yeah.
So you've had all this time where the studios have been like, please help us out. And this is the one time where the movie theaters are like, you know, we are screwed here. Please help us out. Don't, you know, put your films on video on demand. We understand, like The Invisible Man, you know, that film already was out. So, yeah, we understand you bringing it to video on demand. We accept that. But, you know, please push all your films back. And Universal have just gone, no, we're not going to do it on this one.
Please excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
No, I mean it's an odd thing, but yeah, in the discussion over that as well, a lot of what Gabe says about the entertainment industry as well is literally, if the entertainment industry doesn't come into this side of things at some point, they will lag behind and become a thing of the past.
Well, he's saying the Matrix is a lot closer than we think.
Yeah, I don't buy all of what he says, but I certainly agree with him that as a medium, VR and the game-related, well, the technology built around VR,
the UK,
is adding a lot.
The UK still hasn't got the movie rental service, though, is it, in big screen?
When I went in
there last time. Oh,
we can. It's just our selection of films is limited because of copyright laws and stuff like that.
I think the bit I was most excited about after it all gone, and as I say, you know, I've been thinking about that game, Half-Life Alyx, since I finished it. It hasn't left thing. And I think the bit that I'm most excited about is, yes, the ending was left open to thing, and that doesn't mean anything because obviously they finished episode 2. And
They
we didn't
always
hear anything
do.
for we didn't hear anything for 13 years. The reason why I think this is a little bit different is, and I go back to that IGN interview with Gabe Newell where he said we only want to put a Half-Life game out if we can do something new, something different, bring something fresh to it. And what I was saying about Half-Life Alyx is the reason I wouldn't give it the 10 out of 10 is because it's not quite
It's not
there was things that they could change that would improve it. That's where they can, they could bring in a whole new melee system that we've never seen before. There is things that they can do that we've never seen before to have Half-Life 3 at the end of the day. And that was the bit I was looking at. It was just like, you know what? They can do more. They don't need the money. They don't really care about the money. They're making billions from Steam.
Yeah.
But they can really push the VR marketplace. And I do feel that Half-Life, the next Half-Life game will be Half-Life 2 to what Half-Life was. Half-Life 2 just expanded and got bigger and added so much more over what Half-Life was.
It got me
and I think the next one is.
Yeah, go on.
Gentlemen, I've had a little bit of a situation come up. I'm gonna have to take off in about a half an hour to go pick my mother up from
Listen, man, it's cool.
Oh,
we're gonna wrap up the show anyway. So, but yeah, just quickly touch on the gun modifications. They're amazing, aren't they?
Yes, so much fun.
It's expensive to modify guns on Half-Life.
It is expensive.
Yeah. The only thing that I've done was I put a sight on the handgun. Because after that, everything anything that was worthwhile is 30 resin or up.
Yes, it is correct. Yeah,
it's. But as soon as you get like things like the auto loader for the shotgun,
that is...
and the what do you call it? The extra
clip
for the mag.
That I did get. That was very helpful.
On the pistol.
And here's the thing: I didn't realize how to use it. Pop it in, let it fill that extra chamber up, drop the clip out, and then pop another full one in there.
Yeah. It is so cool. It is so cool.
Really,
that is the coolest pistol of all time.
It is.
And that's the Halo pistol. Like this is the coolest pistol I've ever used in a game.
And when you see it like load up all those bullets like a typewriter, that's pretty cool too.
I love it, man. I'm every time. It's weird when I stream. I think sometimes I'm conscious of an audience, sometimes I'm not. But I seriously cannot not look at that. I put the clip in and I look and it's like as quick as it goes on. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, fuck, that's cool. Empty the clip, put the new one in.
Should actually pull on.
I look at the white dots filling up because I gotta make sure those bullets are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's wicked.
Should also pull another point actually, because the ammo starvation in this game is an issue. But did you notice that if you starve or use one weapon over the other, that it actually supplies you with more of that ammo?
Are you joking?
Overall,
I'm a pistol slag, man.
I didn't notice that. What I took from the game was that the game gives you enough ammo to get the job done, provided you use the ammunition sparingly.
Yeah, the shotgun I only used in extreme circumstances. That was my go-to where I really needed it.
If you start using the shotgun excessively more of the time, as early as you get it,
I'm going to test your theory now.
Get more. You supposedly get more shotgun ammo.
Yeah, I'm going to be testing that theory, man.
Yeah, I heard that on someone else's stream, so I need to test it out myself. I started using it. Towards the end part of the game, it started ramping up the amount of shotgun ammo I was finding.
Right. Yeah.
So I think there's a balancer is sitting in behind it saying, right, okay, you're using that a lot more. As soon as you get any of that ammo, you are using it, so we will start to supply you with a bit more ammo for it.
So now Half-Life is now in virtuality. officially.
Mhm.
What is the next gaming series you would fantasize or want to see in virtual reality?
Bioshock. I want Bioshock.
Same. I just want to see what the others say because I'm going Bioshock.
For me, probably maybe the next God of War.
Ooh. Okay.
Interesting.
I'm really uncertain here.
You cannot. So it's not. So think of it like this. Don't think of it. Think of it what you'd personally want, not what would help VR. Think of what you would personally want.
And that would be it because with Asgard's Wrath, when I was able to throw that axe and get it stuck in one of the enemy's heads and then retrieve it and pull that axe back, I was like, this is the closest thing to God of War.
That is true. I felt that. Yes, mate. Yeah, I felt that as well. Same, exactly same moment. When it was on fire, I was like, and then pulling it back, I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
Kratos.
was disappointed when that chapter ended and I had to go on to another character because I enjoyed throwing that axe.
Yeah. Go on. Are you there, South?
No, I'm just trying to rack my brains over all the games that I've played in over the years in the past.
Let me take that away.
And go, what's truly worthy? Because a lot of what I've wanted, I've got in the racing games, the space stuff. Ooh.
What?
The Space Commander type of things, or was it Space Commander?
Are you on about
one of the
Starwing? Oh no, not Starwing. Space Commander. Not about it.
Yeah.
What, from like Amiga days and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Like,
Space Commander.
With the video that had Mark Hamill. And...
Yeah, he's Space Commander. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. You'd love that in VR.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so... I never expected you to say that.
I
remember that.
I want a nice narrative-driven story, but a good narrative-driven story with an action-packed starfighting game that is easier to get into than a full sim, but gives me a full whack range of motion control.
Yeah.
And that can literally just make me go seat the pants in there and go, yes, that's what I need. I need one that's got the narrative.
Oh, Wing Commander. Wing Commander.
Wing Commander.
Sorry,
Wing Commander.
Gaming Legends. Thank you, man. Thank you. It didn't sound right when I was saying it, but I couldn't think of anything else.
Star Commander's the film.
No, you're thinking of the
Commander film.
I was thinking of The Last Starfighter, first of all.
That's it. Last Starfighter. As well.
Just saying random star fight space commander film.
Yeah.
But do you know what would really do it? There's a couple of things I think to myself. I think Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. If Call of Duty made a virtuality game that would hit headlines, another one that would hit headlines massively, and it can be done. I do believe it could be done.
Definitely.
But
there's no doubt in my mind that it can be done. But I've said that a million times about entities like Activision and EA, that they're not going to fully invest in VR until they see that there's a gold mine involved. But they're going to let I feel like they're letting all these developers that's out there right now, a lot of these indie developers, to put it in a certain aspect, they're going to let them dig the pool. They're going to let them lay the cement down for that pool, and they're going to let them fill it up with water, and then they're going to come along and try to jump in that water.
They're going to, use another term,
pretty much.
They're going to put their towels on the
sunbeds.
The sunbeds, mate.
Yeah.
Lincoln might not get that reference, but they're going to put their towels on the sunbeds and use it. That's it.
Don't get me wrong. I think it'll, like, when Call of Duty, if that ever comes to VR, that'll be great from a mainstream aspect, but at the same time, I'll be looking at them, side-eyed, like, oh, now you guys finally show up, You weren't here from the beginning. You didn't help us build this.
But you could say that about the people who have covered Half-Life Alyx. The channels, the YouTubers, they've got no interest in virtuality. They don't play the games. They haven't got the communities. They've just got large channels, which is fantastic. But I could be the same. I could be like, well, hold on a minute, man. I've been supporting this for 2.5 years. Do you know what I mean? Every
Yeah, I
day.
mean the Valve
Yeah.
You do.
Valve sent them a Valve Index as well as the game.
Yeah.
Buy it.
So
And it's like, mate, guys, I just needed the game. You didn't need to send me a Valve Index.
it's just that, it's just things like that, you know. That at the end of the day, unfortunately, the numbers will always
Oh,
count.
you better give Paradise Decay a wave. He's asking, is it safe?
It's safe, man. It's safe. We're done. We're packing up. Actually, I should have waved him a minute ago.
Yeah,
I thought he
gonna
was
say,
joking.
you're opening a can of worms here that could end up taking 3 hours by itself.
Oh, right, okay.
Almost done 3 hours already.
Yeah, we have.
More.
Right then, guys, I think that's a good time to wrap it up. I just want to give a big shout out to Lincoln Clay. Thank you ever so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it, and
Yeah, it's
it's
wonderful.
really good to see you again.
It is my pleasure to be on the show, and I've been talking about this for a while about wanting to come back to the show in a limited capacity. Because right now the biggest thing that I'm still dealing with right now is fatigue from working so many hours.
Yeah.
And then some of the stuff that's happening to me as far as fatigue goes is self-inflicted, because after working for 10 hours or something like that, I come home, take my nap, and then I don't want to like just jump right back into bed. I want a little bit of time to myself to game a little bit and stuff like that. So all of it throws me off. And there were times in the past on the VR link where, you know, you've seen my jaw moving around funny because I'm trying to yawn without opening my mouth because I was, you know, dealing with
I
fatigue.
did notice that. But listen, at the end of the day, as like, we're all in the same little social circles and stuff. If you ever want to come on, let me know. We'll sort that
I'll
out.
definitely come back. There's no question about that. And I think and today was the perfect circumstance to come back because we were talking about a subject that I'm definitely interested in, and I had some input on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you to Nat, as always, every week from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everyone that's watched.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. And thank you to Salsa from Salsa Ketchup VR.
See you, people.
And thank you to all of you.
And by the way, Ned, I think you look a lot better the way you are right now versus when you look like you were carrying a couple of stone tablets.
Oh, mate, he's going back. He's going back. He's going to grow it all again.
Going back. Yeah.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
I think that
I'm
looks
too
like
lazy.
the perfect look for you.
Yeah, I do as well. He's going to hide his beautiful boat race.
I'm beautiful, that's for sure.
Right then, guys.
X's.
Thank you ever so much. As Nat said, you know, we're very lucky to have everyone here, and unfortunately there is issues with YouTube at the moment, but I've spoken about it so much. I'm sure you all know about the bell and God knows what else. Have you noticed that on your channels, guys, when you're live streaming and stuff on YouTube, or?
It's been. I mean, mine's rather drier than you guys, because I'm still waiting to get to that 1K. But soon, hopefully. But yeah, it's been extra quiet.
Nocturnal Wolf just said hello, Lincoln. You're on you're on Twitch, aren't you?
Yeah.
What about you, Lincoln? You notice a drop in numbers at all while live streaming?
Yeah, I have noticed a drop in numbers, and as far as subs goes, I think my channel's been kind of stagnant. But at the end of the day, I really don't care about it because I'm doing this for the passion, for the love.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, and I just want to get out there and share my passion for VR with anyone who wants to listen.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's all right. It's all good. Guys, Nocturnal, thank you for turning up, but we're just closing shop now. That's it. We last orders was a while ago. So,
Nocturnal, how you doing?
Nice. That's it. I had to find you channel today because of your link. No, it's not in the subscription feed, as I said, and that's what I didn't know if Lincoln knew about that live streams aren't turning up in subscription feeds. And then what processing as well, the video is going to disappear, so YouTube buries it because obviously you've got a lot less viewers, and then it looks like no one watches it for 2 hours, and then it comes back and it's like meh. no one liked that video. So yeah, it's not great. It's not ideal.
And another thing that I have to take into consideration is that when I first started my channel, it was primarily PlayStation, and you could say that I was caught up in the console war, and I think that was a big part of my audience. But as I started to make the transition to VR, people who were watching my channel for the console war were kind of fading out, and people who were interested in VR was coming in. And then once I joined the VR League, I had gained a good number of UK subscribers. So that was another thing that I had to keep in try to consider when going live, is to try to do it at an hour where the UK can see it too, because you're 5 hours ahead of us.
Yes, we are in the future. That is correct. Right. Thank you. Good for you, man. That's it. There were some shows I used to watch, but they're now like more catered to Americans, so I can't watch them live.
The American side does it too late in the evening.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
It becomes like
2 o'clock in the morning.
1,
here.
2, 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on what coast they're on.
There's 2 shows in particular I actually miss watching, and I don't get to see them anymore because of that. So, but there you go, guys. Look after yourselves. Thank you ever so much. Yep. Really appreciate you being here. I know the world's a bit crazy, but we're all going to be here. We're all doing what we've got to do. And we hope to all see you in the week for some virtual reality entertainment of some sort. Look after yourselves. Take care.
You know how it goes. Wakanda forever. You'll definitely see me on the VR League again.
There you go, guys. That's it. Wakanda forever. I can't do it. I can't do it and press the button.
Welcome to the Half-Life Alyx post world.
I can't.
Post VR Alyx.
Yeah.